Good morning, good morning, good morning, my lovelies. Welcome to Twisted Tragedies, where we follow all the twists and turns wherever they lead. I am your host, Elise, and we're gonna have to talk about some shit today. We're gonna have to talk about the tantrum, the big baby giant, I'm Turtle Boy and I'm scary tantrum that he had last night. Did an entire show about me, right? Which again, I predicted. I predicted all the things that he would say. Everyone's a grifter. Everyone's a scammer. Everyone is crazy. Everybody's riding his coattails. Everybody's blah, 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 blah. All the same nonsensical, ridiculous, fucking bullshit he feeds everyone. But fun fact, y'all. Fun fact. He admitted to Mike last night that his blogs are revenge. They're revenge, y'all. They're revenge. That is his way of getting his petty, ridiculous, absurd revenge is to write a blog on someone. I know, isn't it the best thumbnail ever? It's the best thumbnail ever. I'm just saying. I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that, but I mean, I'm just saying. Again, I'm tooting my own horn, but shit. So here's the thing. The man is a hypocritical piece of human garbage. He claims that the ratchets need to be called out and hypocrites need to be called out. But again, fun fact, he is the ratchet. He's the king ratchet. He is the king freaking hypocrite. Thank you, R. I appreciate that. He's the king hypocrite, right? All of the things that he accuses everyone else of doing, he does himself and has been doing for quite a long time. So one of his lines last night to try to get his mob to attack, one of his mantras, which is so funny to me because what do you think immediately happened right after that? His little cult members ran in and literally repeated, like little parrots that they are, word for word, the shit he says, right? The king of all ratchets, literally. That's what he is, the king of all fucking ratchets. They ran, just like the good cultists that they are, to do his bidding, right? And repeat the literal shit that he spews, right? One of the most ridiculous things on planet Earth that he spewed last night was that I somehow exploit my child. I'm sorry, but since when has my show ever been about my child? Can someone answer that? My show is not about my child. We might mention her here or there, but yeah, my show's not about my child, sir. So in order to exploit that, it would have to be about that. No? Isn't that how exploiting works there, dumbass? I'm just saying, maybe look in a dictionary before you come out the side of your fucking neck and know what you're talking about before you do it. But again, he doesn't because it's a petty revenge tactic. That's why, because he doesn't actually care about what he's saying being true or not. All he cares is about his little petty revenge. I'm Turtle Boy. I'm scary. Puff my chest. I think I'm going to destroy everyone with my little cultists. He got on there, and I don't watch his shit, so I had someone give me the Cliff Notes version, basically. But he immediately lied. Immediately lied and told his entire audience, I didn't say anything about her child. I didn't say anything at all. I hope her child isn't sick. Let me make something abundantly clear here. That man has known that I've had a sick child since 2023. So if he wants to get on and pretend like he doesn't know, I hope that didn't happen after he got pushed back, that is an act. That is a fucking act. He absolutely knows and has known for a very long time. Let's go back to the stream he did in 2023, okay? All about how my child possibly could not be sick, and maybe it's just a fake, which anyone with any brains or 5 seconds of research would have known would be bullshit, right? So don't sit there and fucking lie to your audience and pretend like you didn't know I had a sick child. Let's get real here. He absolutely knew. He's known for a long time. Let me be clear. My daughter was born with her disease. Let's also be clear. This whole, well, maybe you should take care of your children instead of going to New Jersey. That's a veiled threat. I publicly and privately help his victims, and he is fully aware of that. The man wants a new witness intimidation charge. That's what he's asking for at this point. That's what he would like. Because that's what he's going to get coming for me. It's literally what he's going to get. It's literal definition, right? Literal fucking definition. My friend, I tried to warn you the other day, New Jersey is not playing with you. They are not playing with you, sir. Like I said, I mean, maybe, and I'm just thinking maybe, possibly, they might maybe charge you. I mean, just an educated guess. Based on the circumstances, I'm just going to give an educated guess and say possibly would be charged with more cyber harassment and probably witness intimidation because he can't keep his fucking mouth shut. He's mad because he knew that I knew before he was served, he was being served yesterday again with a new order. He's mad because I help his victims. He's mad because people are learning the truth about him and they're finally waking up. I get at least one email, if not two, via DM or email a day from people literally either saying, hey, can I call you? Hey, can we have a chat? I would like to apologize. I can't believe I ever supported this fucking piece of shit. I can't even believe it. Right? That's the other problem he had. Sound the alarms, everyone. Esty's in Twisted Tragedies chat. Oh no, they're friends. That's terrible. It's awful. It's a horrible thing. See, that's the beauty of free will and not being in a cult, right? That's the fucking beauty of it. That is the beauty of being able to not hate random ass people because Turtle Boy told you to, right? That's the fucking beauty of being able to pick and choose who you're going to talk to and who you're not going to talk to, who you're going to be friends with and who you're not going to be friends with, who you're going to support as a creator and who you're not going to support as a creator. Let's be very clear here, folks. I literally did a prediction. He did exactly what I thought he would do, which is exactly what he always does. Talks about how nobody should be talking about the wiretapping that he did on Karen and multiple other people because it's just drama. And then proceeds to attack me, not because I did something wrong, not because I'm a bad person like he tries to portray it, but to make some more shit up, right? And feign that I'm a bad person because he is being outed right now for his hypocritical and disgusting, deplorable, illegal behavior. Never mind the fact that he broke 2 orders yesterday. 2 orders, 2. And many people who are from the free hear and read side, hello, Laura, feel comfortable here. Why? Because they don't get attacked. We can have an opinion and also agree to disagree and be humans. We can do that. He cannot do that. He does not know how. Narcissists usually don't, right? They usually don't know how to do that. Usually doesn't, Hey, Shamina. Rooster, I mean, I don't know why you're here, because if you have a problem with Esty, you have a problem with me. So let me make myself clear to the trolls, okay? Let me make myself clear. You will just get blocked and banned. I don't know why you bother even writing any comments on my live streams. I don't know why. I literally don't. Because within seconds of you posting it, you're literally just going to be blocked and banned. You have this thought in your mind that I care about my subscribers going up by having you weirdos on there. I don't give a fuck. I don't actually give a fuck. Oh, I am? I would love to know where those checks are, David. Let me know when those pop in the mail, right? Let me know when those pop in the mail. I'm making a good living. Oh, that's the fucking funniest thing I've ever heard. Oh, God. Yeah, right? PETA told her it wasn't okay. She can't feed the ducks anymore. I mean, here's the thing, right? We expected the trolls to come. Ooh, I'm so scared. Oh, the cultists are coming, right? Like, you'll just get blocked and banned. I don't know why you bother doing finger push-ups over here. I really don't. And then what you'll be doing is you'll be typing comments onto my YouTube channel, thinking that they're posted and the only person who can see them is you. So you'll be posting them into the abyss, cultists. Have fun with that. You, again, have this theory that I give a fuck. See, I'm not Turtle Boy. I don't obsess over numbers, right? Is it nice to be able to make a living? Yes. Do I make a good living? No. That's just bullshit. And anybody who knows me knows that. Why? Because I choose to tell the truth instead of following suit. That's why. I choose the harder route for myself. I choose to not be a scumbag like him. I choose to not attack people 24/7. Last night, he admitted that he has nothing to talk about. What is he supposed to talk about if he can't talk about ratchets? That's what he said. What is he supposed to talk about? He can't talk about ratchets. What is he supposed to talk about? I don't know, bub. A million other fucking things. Kind of is I refuse to do it. I won't do it. I'll watch clips people send me, maybe a minute here or there of something that people are like, oh, hey, what's going on? Like, no. Right? Right? Because they know better, right? Because my viewers know that I respect other people's opinions and we can do this thing called agreeing to disagree. As humans, as grown adults, we can agree to disagree. So let me address some of the turtles' ridiculous, bold-faced lies and fucking crap assertions. The assertion that someone wouldn't be a good parent if they went to New Jersey, and let me make myself clear, he started his dumb stream by saying he didn't say anything about my child. Not only is that completely false, he's done it numerous times before that. Okay, let's just make that clear. All right. Number two, he's a fucking liar. He's known my kid has been sick for a very long time. So that'd be another fucking lie pretending that he didn't know. Okay. Three, the assertion that I would not be a good parent if I went to New Jersey. Unlike him, I'm a fucking 2-parent household. So if I'm not home, guess who is? My husband. Therefore, there's a parent there. Then the assertion that I am somehow a grifter by being on YouTube and I should, quote, take care of my children. Well, my children are either at school or at home, and I'm at home, sir. I'm with my children 24/7. I'm at their fucking beck and call. I don't think you can say the same. So if I'm a grifter for doing YouTube, what the fuck are you? Just asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. Just asking. Just asking, you know? I don't blame you, Jim. I don't blame you. You know? I don't, there's a lot of people that come here from that. I do too. I'm with you, Jim. I refuse. I absolutely fucking, yeah, it was a whole show on me. I mean, don't even, to be honest, like, you can watch it, go ahead, but it's just nonsensical bullshit. Literally. You know? Yep, he did that. But he also admitted that all of his shit, as a matter of fact, you know what, guys? Hold on, let me get this up here. Let's show him what grifting really looks like, right? We call our donations here, we call them truth bombs. And I don't make a great living like the troll would like to have people believe. And most of you are here know that I don't make some great living doing YouTube. I wish I did. That'd be great. I'm a mom. Like, I'm mom. Well, he hasn't. That's because he hasn't, Mo. But let's show, okay, him what it looks like. You know? Let's show him what grifting looks like with truth bombs. Because I'll tell you this much, bro. I hit every comment that every person writes in my chat. I'm very attentive. I answer my emails. I answer my DMs. I give people my number. Why? Because I want people to get to know me as a person, as a human. And I respect and appreciate people who support my channel. So if everyone else on YouTube is a grifter but him, make it make fucking sense. You know, make it make sense. You know, if you're blocked on X, it's because I went down the names of whoever was following the Esther Reed account that Meredith made. Yeah, so, I mean, people have asked other people. People have sent other people to me to ask me to unblock them, you know? It's unfortunate, right, that this is the way. And let me be clear here as well. I don't think he ever has, Mo. That's half the problem, I feel like. But, hey, Sam, welcome. And there's plenty of people in here who, you know, have that same opinion, but you're allowed to have that opinion, right? And still not be fucking attacked for it, not be, you know, talked about like you're just some human piece of garbage. That's not the way it works. Okay. It's not the way it works. Then he wanted to talk about me being a dancer as if he didn't learn that information from me. Hey, bud, just over here. Turtle boy. Yeah. Come here. Come closer. Sir, it wasn't a secret. I was a stripper even to my own fucking grandmother. Why? Because I don't need to keep secrets. Don't need to keep secrets. Don't need to keep secrets, sir. Why? Because I'm very open and honest. Open and honest with my audience because I have nothing to fucking hide. See, that's the difference. Right. I grift, but then I don't make any money. Which one is it? Which one is it, Aiden? Which one is it? Which one is it, sir? Which fucking one? If I'm a grifter, you're a grifter. If you're a grifter, Will's a grifter. And all your fucking friends, okay? Let's be clear here, okay? Let's be very fucking clear. I don't make a ton of money here. I don't. But I don't just press the button and run my fucking cum catcher like he does, and excuse the vile language, but that's just how I feel about it, okay? Okay? Let's just be clear, okay? I actually do fucking work, unlike him. You know, he can't, this whole journalist, but he's asking what he should talk about if he can't talk about ratchets. Let me be clear. When he talks about ratchets, it's things people send him. He doesn't check the information. He doesn't make sure it's true. He just posts it and talks about it as if it is, just assuming, right? Because that's what real journalists definitely, though they definitely do that. That's definitely fucking true. Definitely. You know, here's the thing. I knew he would try this. Okay. I knew he would. We all knew he would. Why? Because I am a voice for your victims, Aiden. Cry me a fucking river, you big baby back bitch. You will never silence me, sir. Ever. Keep it fucking coming. Keep trying. I am not the typical person that goes and hides that you've been dealing with for all these years, Aiden. Why? Because I've been through an addiction. I've been through childhood sexual assault. I've been through domestic violence. I have been through fucking homelessness, a fire, my father committing suicide, on and fucking on and then some, bro. You are a joke. You're a fucking joke. You cannot break me. See, that's the problem, is you seem to think you have control over people that you don't. I choose to not let you have that control, sir. Sorry. You don't get that with me. You don't get that, and you don't get that against your victims, because even if they will not speak or cannot speak because you've threatened them, guess what? I'm going to keep speaking for them. And you can attack me if you want, but don't come crying to your fucking friends when you get charged with witness intimidation for doing it. You know, I'm just a voice, maybe. Yes. I'm just a person, right? I'm just a person. I'm just a human. And again, I've done volunteer advocacy work, most of you know, for the last 18 years. So this is not something new, speaking for victims. It's just new publicly, right? I usually do it privately. So, excuse me. But make it make sense, right? How do you grift with not making good money? Make it make sense. And if I'm a grifter, right? What is he? What is he? What is he? Well, I mean, here's the sad part, right? And I saw a little bit of what Mike was saying with the clip someone sent me. And for me, right, I'm thinking to myself, even Mike is literally admitting right then and there that when he came out and said something against Aiden that he didn't like, he was attacked and let people think he was a turncoat because he stopped his stream for like a couple weeks or whatever. So, and I quote, this is what he said: "So nothing would happen to me." Well, what the fuck does that mean? Free Karen Reed, cultists. And I don't mean those of you who have seen the light. I mean the ones who are still just running and doing his bidding and repeating his, parroting his bullshit. What do you think Mike meant by that? So nothing would happen to him. What he meant was, so Aiden didn't attack him, and he didn't basically lose his channel and all subscribers and all the money that he was getting with Aiden attacking him for him speaking any sort of truth about Aiden. That's what he fucking meant. All right. And he admitted it out loud. That's sad. You shouldn't be afraid of your friend, supposed friend, attacking you or your channel. And also, I got a little thing that I have to say here about Will. Will's in the chat last night talking about, she said something about us saying something about her being a shitty mother. Carrie, you're blocked. I don't even know why you bother, sweetheart. Go back to the cult HQ. They're calling. They're paging you. They're paging you, cult. They're paging you. Cult HQ, paging. You might want to go back there. They need you. They need you to go do some damage control. They need help. So it's funny to me. All right. It's funny to me because if Will wants to talk about someone's parenting, someone he doesn't know, right? Will. All right. Will, buddy. You're the last person to be talking about someone's fucking parenting, bud. I'm a 2-parent household. My children are with me 24/7. You, on the other hand, sir, didn't you abuse your disabled son? Yeah, no, maybe. Just saying. Maybe she fall the fuck back. This is what I'm talking about. We're talking about the most hypocritical people on planet Earth. And it's funny to me because the only reason he wants to bring up my parenting is because he don't want me to go to New Jersey, right? He doesn't want me to go to New Jersey. So I'd be a bad parent if I went to New Jersey. I'm a 2-parent household, sir. So there's this thing where I can go somewhere and my husband's still here. Isn't that amazing? See how that works? See how that works? Right? Maybe Eden's jealous. He could never wear a banana hammock and be a male stripper. I'm just saying. Maybe yes, I was a dancer for a lot of years. Well, here's the thing, right? Pick a fucking struggle, dude. I know I'm a monster. I must be a monster. I was a dancer in my 20s. Oh my, must be a fucking monster, right? God. And do you know how many nice things Esty did for other people and they just treated her like shit because, the turtle and Meredith said so? Come the fuck on with it. And she's very strong. And I am not going to sit here and act like she isn't my friend or that I'm not proud to be her friend. I'm proud to be her friend. Why? Because she at least stands for what she fucking believes in, right? We don't have to agree on the Karen Reed case to know that she stands for what she believes in. She goes out and does advocacy work like I've been doing for years. Who the fuck is anyone else to say anything else about her when she's out there doing something, going to these meetings in Boston, trying to figure out what the fuck is happening on those streets? I don't see anyone else doing that. Something I've been doing for years. Talking to our lawmakers. Come the fuck on. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not allowed to speak or talk to people who maybe I didn't at what point, or who maybe disagree with me at what point, or maybe they realized they were in a fucking cult. Maybe. Maybe. Just maybe. I'm just saying. Just fucking maybe. Oh, well, you know what? They hate my eyeshadow. They absolutely hate it. And I find it so fucking funny that they say anything about my eyeshadow because I've been paid to do people's makeup. And it's like men commenting on a woman's eyeshadow. Like, do you not realize, like, I do it at you're talking professional level makeup the way I do eyeshadow, and you have something to say about it as a man? Make that make sense. I just laugh because it's like you have no fucking idea what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, except I need to do my roots. All my roots are coming in. I am going to be 39 next month, so I'm getting, the grays. They're killing me, dude. They're killing me. They're fucking killing me. See, that's the thing. You had the trolls saying something about me suffering from a sense of grandeur. I don't need to suffer from a sense of grandeur because I'm no better than anyone else. I put my pants on one leg at a time. See, that's the difference. Is I bleed red like everyone else. I don't think I'm better than anyone else. I don't think that at all. See, that's the difference. I don't try to control people. I don't tell them who they can and can't talk to or can and can't watch. If you tell the truth about him, it is a threat to him. It's that simple. We all knew it would happen at some point, and he can keep it fucking coming. Keep it coming. It just goes to show people how pathetic you are. You're literally attacking a channel with less than 3,000 subscribers and you admitted it last night, right, Aiden? It's like a petty revenge thing. It's out of spite. That's what he said. Come the fuck on. If his viewers can't see that exactly for what it is after he said it, then they really need some psychological help, some counseling. Come on. And that's the thing, he didn't. And Karen Reed said this, mind you. Karen Reed literally said he never went outside to ask any questions. He sat at his computer and waited for things to be sent to him. That's it. That's all he does. That's not journalism, folks. It's not journalism. And then he went in on JFK and Lily. Like, let me be clear here. I've spoken to Lily. I had a good 2-hour conversation with Lily last week. Probably a couple days ago at least. She has not only apologized, but completely seen the light and is disgusted. And I don't blame her. A lot of people have. Oh, hey, I gave her the message that you told me to the other day, Leah. Leah told me to give her a message to tell her she was brave and beautiful. And I gave the message. You know what I'm saying? See, this is what I mean. This human connection, right? That's a missed connection of people who could have spoke before now, right? True grifting is him having members now, but still making people pay for Turtle Club for his cult show. Yeah, I don't know. What's the point of that? Like, to be fair, I just told my members, like, I have to get, I got to get more before I can start doing like members only, like whole full shows, because that wouldn't make any sense with only, 50 people and, whatever. But I'm going to do like members only shorts until I have enough. But that, you're right. What are these people paying for? Why are they paying for Turtle Club and being members? I don't know how much he charges for either, but He makes a pretty penny doing it. And I love how he calls pretty much everyone else a grifter. Everyone else. Everyone else is a grifter but him. Everyone else. Everyone else. The van man, my kid gets her own social security check. So you're an idiot. Go straight into her bank account. You realize my daughter's 20, right? You realize that she's over the age of 18, you fucking idiot. I'm working right now. See this? This is called work, dumbass. This is called work. Hey, you know, the cult needs people like you, because without idiots like you, the van man, without morons like you, they have no control. See, what you don't seem to understand is that your little stupid insults and comments, they don't scare me. I don't care what you have to say. I know who I am. See, that's the difference between me and Turtle Boy. I'm not an insecure little fuck. I know who I am. I have family and friends who love me, and I love them. I don't need a fucking pat on the back from a man who names himself after a statue. Stop it. Please, for the love of fucking God. It's utterly ridiculous. Please, come on. I can't. They just make me laugh harder. It probably is, Christina, because they're the same deplorable, disgusting people. But then what happens when they start figuring out what the fuck is going on? Because I promise you, I'm getting at least an email via DM a day from people waking up. You know? No, see, there's a big difference between making shit up, like he does, and telling the truth, and doing veiled threats and telling the truth, right? I have victims that depend on me to speak the truth when he fucking lies. Therefore, I'm going to do it, no matter who likes it. No matter who likes it. I'm going to respond to his adult tantrum. Did I say there was anything wrong with being a one-person household at all? I was a one-person household for many years. So once again, this is what I mean. Don't be trying to spin my words because I said I'm a two-parent household, that somehow it means that people who are one-parent households are bad. No, I was a one-parent household for a long time. One-parent households, I know, right, Shannon? One-parent households are fucking extremely difficult. But I'm responding to his comment that somehow by me going to New Jersey to support his victim, that I'm a, quote, bad parent? No, I'm a two-parent household, dumbass. Therefore, if I'm not home, my husband is. See, that's how that works. So you need the full context before you make a comment like that, right? I have plenty of friends who are one-parent households to multiple children, and they're fucking rock stars because it is not easy. You know? It is not easy. Not even a little. There's a lot of that going around. That's for sure. There was a lot of that going around when they did to Esty. A lot of it was simply jealousy. And like Aiden admitted last night, petty revenge. Petty revenge for just knowing things you probably shouldn't about him and about how his little crew runs themselves, you know? It's ridiculous. I love dancing. Love dancing. It is fucking weirdo behavior. It's weirdo behavior, the shit he does anyway, you know? But that's the thing. That's what he does, is set people up. And then he cries that he's set up. Is this a setup too, Aiden? You breaking 2 orders? Hi, Anna. You breaking 2 fucking orders last night? Was that a, quote, setup too? Was that a setup? Was it? Or was it you just can't fucking help yourself? You just can't seem to get out of your own way and fucking help yourself. You know? Like, come the fuck on with it. Say what? I'm confused. I'm behind here. Well, that's his problem, is he's threatened by the truth, and he's threatened by the fact that people are figuring it out. He knows they are, because people are saying things more and more and more, you know? Thank you, Brooklyn. I appreciate that. I love dance. I love dance. Everyone should dance. I don't care if you dance in the rain, alone. I don't know. You know? You know? You do get name dropped all the time. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. And it's funny because you're like the most non-negative person on planet Earth. When I need like a big pick-me-up for you to be like, this is another way to look at it, at least. That's who I call. That's who I call. When I need that positivity, that is who I call. Yes. Yes, yes. Yep. I mean, that's the thing, right? If someone that kind of big of a supporter is realizing what they weren't realizing before, it's only a matter of time before other people do too, guys. Right? And again, I have been getting messages from people all the time now, all the time. You know? Oh, yeah, because he's scared. He's afraid. He's afraid. You know? Well, that's true. Double dipping off of them. It's ridiculous. Well, see, that's the thing, Anna, and I love you for this, but you're never going to make me a bad guy. I spent 18 years fucking helping people quietly behind closed doors. You're never going to make me a bad guy. You might make me a bad guy to your ridiculous cult that believes anything you fucking say, but to anybody who knows me is laughing at you. They're literally laughing at you. You're just mad. You're just salty. Thank you, Tanja. You're just fucking salty, okay? Because your blogs smell like dirty socks and wet dreams, all right? That's in broken dreams. All the man talks about is sex all the time. That's all he talks about. Sexual innuendos 24/7. It's like, bro, maybe you need Sexaholics Anonymous. I don't know. Something's got to give there. This, again, you're talking about a man who admitted that his blogs last night are petty revenge and out of spite. And that he has nothing else that he can think of to talk about. Mind you, he's out there telling everyone else not to talk about the wiretapping between him and Karen because that's drama. Don't talk about that. It's just stupid drama. It's just dumb drama. Meanwhile, he attacks every woman on planet Earth because he has nothing else to fucking talk about. Come on. Stop it. Stop the nonsense. Stop it. It's ridiculous. It is the best feeling. I am so with you on that. Listen, I'm the same way. My friends can tell you, like, I'm that person that randomly sends something to your fucking house because I saw it online. I was like, oh my God, they will love this. Even if it's not hugely expensive, I'm like, they will love that. Leah can tell you, I'm fucking famous for that shit. And I'm like, yep, nope, that's getting sent. Like, and again, I don't have a lot, but I like to share because I'm one of those people that it makes me happy to make other people happy. Does that make sense? Like, especially when I know, like, life, it's just thankless, right? You're doing for your kids, you're doing for your spouse, you're doing for your family, you're doing for your friends, and who's doing for you? You know what I mean? Once in a while. So I'm that person that thinks about things like that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna send this. Why? Because they should feel like they're loved and appreciated for no reason. Every so often, it's my way of saying we love you, we appreciate you. Right? Like that's the kind of person I am. So believe me, I get it. I'm the same way. Oh, they're very bothered. They're very bothered. They're very bothered. They read my chat. They watch my shows. They're upset that people are coming here, especially people who are free Karen Read, who are reading the chat and they're figuring out what the hell is going on. There's 106 people on X, 163 on YouTube. I mean, they're bothered. That's the thing. It's so repetitive that I could predict long before they're going to say what they're going to say or what attack it's going to be. Like you can attack somebody for being poor or homeless. I mean, does that not open people's eyes to who these people are? Right? Will lives in his parents' basement. All right. Aiden's renting a place because he got thrown out of his marital home for being a liar and a cheat. But they want to talk about anyone else. I don't get it. Make it make sense. Someone, please, for the love of God. Some freaking one. Make it make fucking sense. It's going to be whack-a-troll today. It just is, But my mods are on it. My mods are on it. They're on it. They're good at this. They're used to this, especially after he runs his fucking mouth and comes out the side of his neck. The cult seems to think if they come in here and say something insulting, like half the time I don't even see it because my mod's got it gone and you're booted before I ever even see it. So you're wasting your finger push-ups once again. You're wasting them, Exactly. Right? We're struggle busing it financially. That's how basically everyone in life is doing at the moment. Everyone. So for him to call anybody else a grifter is amazing to me. For him to say anything about, something about like me capitalizing off my kid or something. Is my show about my kid? When has my show ever been about my kid? Listen, let's spread some awareness here. My daughter has a disease that less than 200 people on planet Earth have, not in the country, in planet Earth. Okay. It's called STAT3 gain of function. Most doctors don't even know what the fuck it is. There's only 2 doctors that study it in a lab in the entire world. All right. My shows are not about my daughter. But let's also be clear. This whole, oh, wait, go take care of your daughter instead of streaming. Streaming's my job. I'm also at home. Also, people seem to forget my daughter's 20. 20. So she'll always be my baby. And she has short stature and weight gain issues because of her medication and because of her disease. She's still 20 years old. She doesn't live at home. She has her own place. So for the troll that was like, hey, your kid's social security check, my kid's social security check is at her house where she is to pay her bills. And during the day, there's someone there, and then I go there. It's not really hard, right? She's 20, all right? 20. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. And let's be clear here. All my kids are mummy's girls. Total mummy's girls. I dare you to say some shit about me to my child. My children are spoiled. They get everything and anything they could have ever wanted or needed. And I go without if I have to, if that's what it takes. Because they're my babies. You're not too bright. Do you know what? We have some of the brightest people in these chats, which is so funny. We have a multitude of lawyers, people who work. I'm not going to say specifically what kind of things they do in a court besides lawyers, but we have other people who, work in that field. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have tech people, we have very intelligent, and then we have the people who are working, 80 hours a week to just try to freaking pay their rent, right? They're working 2-3 jobs. They're doing the American dream, which is not a dream anymore, unfortunately, but they're doing it. They're working hard and they still find a way to support when they can, which is amazing. And I appreciate them. See, Will and Aiden don't appreciate shit. They think it should just be given to them on a silver platter. And I can't get down with people like that. Greed, that is probably one of my biggest fucking pet peeves. I can't. Right? To me, I mean, anybody who at that point is supporting these 2 idiots and then some, like you must have lost brain cells being near them. It's all right. You gain them back because you're here. Right. So there's 2 orders because I guess you probably don't know, but he has 2 orders out of New Jersey against him. They're essentially like HPOs here in Massachusetts. It's their version of that in New Jersey. So he is not allowed to talk about them or say anything about them, disparage them. And what did he immediately do? That's what he immediately did. But now, mind you, he was just served with one of those orders yesterday. Just served. Okay, so I have my first donation. Now, this is me making so much money. Let me just throw it out there. This is me making so much money, Aiden. You're so right. I'm such a grifter. All right, truth bomb here. We have a truth bomb. Hold on. Find my little thingy here. Boop, 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 boop. We have a gong. I forgot we got a gong. That would be fun. All right, truth bomb. Says, drop that truth bomb. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't call somebody a grifter and then say they don't make money. Which is it, right? And if I'm a grifter by working, my job's YouTube. Isn't that your job, Aiden? Isn't that your fucking job, sir? Just wondering. I mean, that's your job, right? I'm asking for a friend. You are correct, Rosewater. You are correct. Oh, wait, hold on. There's one more $5 truth bomb. For you look great today. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not going to read who it is because I don't think she wants her name out there and I don't blame her. But thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see. All right. Let me just put this over here real quick. All right. Let me turn that. You're right, Rosewater. I can't handle anything like that. I have all 3. He did. And he tried to use your children to do it. That's just how, and you and your kids are close. And let's be clear, because I know Ashley as a person, right? In real life, she's been to my Hotel Elise. This is my neighbor's yard, but she's been to Hotel Elise. And she's very close with her daughters. So it's funny to me, the shit that he is willing to do and then get on there and lie. I didn't say anything about her kids. You literally said, not only did that, but I said, she shouldn't be going to New Jersey. She'd be a bat. She should stay out of New Jersey, not go to New Jersey, or I mean, that's shitty parenting, basically. No, bub. No, see, that's the thing. Again, I have a husband, so there's a 2-parent household. So if I'm not home, he's home. See, yeah, that's how that works. Someone also said that if I have a child with a terminal illness, that I should be eating, sleeping, working, and doing nothing else. Well, that's literally what I fucking do. I'm working. See me working? This is me working. Okay. This is me working, right? And that's all I do. I barely sleep because I have CPTSD. And for the person that wanted to make that fucking deplorable, disgusting comment to say that, oh, it must be exaggerated, tell that to the kid who lost all her hair. I'm pretty sure it's not fucking exaggerated, right? And also, there's a big difference. Let me be clear here. There's a big difference between having someone with a terminal illness and them actively dying, just to be clear, because this woman's like, well, if your child's actively dying. No, my child's not actively dying, but that could happen at any moment, okay? The life expectancy with the new diagnosis on top of her other one is 3 to 5 years, and that was last year. So, I mean, clearly you don't know how terminal illnesses work, so maybe you should take several fucking seats and sit the fuck down. Just saying. You know, I'm just saying. Like, hopefully, I think people will start seeing the light sooner than later, because there are people coming to me left, right, and sideways. I mean, but that's the thing. She's seeing him for what he is, and it's unfortunate because then people start to realize like they were doing his bidding. They were doing things that they would not normally say or do to other people because of him. And that's a hard fucking pill to swallow, especially if you're an intelligent person. You're like, wait a second, how did I fall for that? And not see it while it's right in front of me. It's a hard pill for people to swallow, but I'm happy to say people are. They are, you know? See? And that's the thing, right? Like, you can be a one-parent household and still be a good parent. There's things called childcare and pet care, like Mish is saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm a 2-parent household, so I don't have to because I can't afford childcare. Bottom line. Also, so me going to New Jersey means I'm a bad parent. No, I'm a 2-parent household. Kids can be at home while I'm not home. Like, what? That's not a thing. Like, it's not a fucking thing. It's not a thing. That's exactly right, right? They can get so easily taken advantage of, and it's unfortunate because I do feel for some of these people that are in the middle of this, and they're still supporting him, not realizing what is going on. It's unfortunate that he'll literally tell on himself, and they still won't see it. Last night, he literally told on himself 1,000,000 times over, okay? 1,000,000 times over, okay? Looks like he smells like a belly button. Wet socks and broken dreams. That's what his blogs smell like. If her phone texting the feds, get the Signal app text. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to get the Signal app text, but I can tell you this. He took screenshots of some of the Signal texts that they had back and forth. So that's no good. You know? Everybody's laughing at him, is the fool of the internet right now, lying to his people, and then he's the victim. Well, that's the thing, right? He can't play victim anymore. Right? Yeah, I won't go there usually means it's a bad look for him or he's protecting others. It's exactly right. You hit the nail right on the head. Hit the nail right on the head, you know? It's quite pathetic. It's quite pathetic. But last night he literally, people might want to delete their links to his fundraisers just saying, yeah, I mean, that probably you are one smart cookie, Anna. As a victim of Aiden, I know how much he lies. But he wouldn't even cover the truth about my case. He helped a pedophile get away with my 15-year-old, and now I know exactly why. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I've been working hard on those shorts, dude. Okay? Hard on those shorts. They take a long time to like re-edit and take things out, put things in. It's probably still hurtful, you know? It's probably still hurtful because it's constant lies and spin. That's what he does. He loves to spin. To try to say anything about my child and my channel. My child and my channel are two different things. I am open and honest with my audience, and once in a while we'll talk about my child and her terminal illness and the stuff that she's dealing with. But that has nothing to do with my channel in itself. So, you know, the same way he tried to go at Joel, right? Joel wrote a book about his mother's experience with being, you know, saved essentially from being killed, you know, her, and I think it was her grandmother. Was it her grandmother or her mother and a nanny, right? He came at him, right? for the Holocaust. And so, oh, you're grifting off your mother's story to the Holocaust, right? You're capitalizing on that. Like, that's utterly ridiculous. His mother helped him write the book, right? It's to help spread awareness and to tell her amazing story. He has the right to do that. It's his mother, right? You're just mad you didn't do it. Just be honest. It's petty, it's revenge, and you're jealous, okay? My child has nothing to do with my channel. So to somehow claim that it's capitalizing or grifting off my kid has nothing to do with my channel. Nothing. Zero. So make that make sense. See, that's my point, right? He inserts thing here to make people enraged. So you should be so upset with this person because it's, they're grifting off their child. What? My child has nothing to do with my show. Nothing. Zero to do with my show, other than her being my child and me telling you guys the things that I do and deal with as a human, because I feel like it can help other people, other parents who have children with special needs, other parents who have multiple kids and are dealing with that on top of it, or a family member they're helping. People can bond over these things and be support for each other for these things. He wouldn't know that. It's a foreign concept to him, a foreign concept of sharing things to help one another, to help connect people, right? That's a very foreign concept for him. He does not know what that's like at all. All he knows is bashing and hurting and smearing and twisting things to fit his ridiculous narrative. That's all he does. It's some of these people are just angry that the truth is coming out. They are so triggered. So triggered. It's a waste of finger push-ups. Why come here? Why come here? What's the point? You're going to get bounced out. So you come here, you say you're like ridiculously insulting, but also false, assertion that you were fed. My mod bounces you out. Now you're blocked and banned from the channel, and I never have to deal with you again. Thank you for outing yourselves. Appreciate you. Or you write a comment on one of my videos. All I do is block and ban you. You're now gone. The comment's gone, and I never have to deal with you again. So thank you for outing yourself. Appreciate it. Also, calling all cultists, stop following me on X. I'm just going to block you. But thank you once again for outing yourselves. All I have to do is look at if someone follows me, all I have to do is go and look at their replies and see if they're disparaging other people and sticking up for him. And I'm like, yep, nope, boop, block. See you later. Immediate. Bye-bye. He hates women. Let's be clear. He'll never admit it. He'll never admit being a misogynist, but he hates women. He hates it. Hates it. Does hurt when this happens, and I applaud you for being so brave throughout this process. I think anybody who's been attacked by him is extremely brave because it is mentally and emotionally taxing, which is why I refuse to watch his shit. Ooh, shit, SD drops a truth bomb. She sends 25 and says, boom, now to shop on your Amazon list. Fun fact, Halloween stuff. I have to do this Halloween party, and if I have to get everything that's not left on that list today for it to be here before Saturday for the party. So if anybody is doing Amazon, go for the Halloween stuff that I need for the party. But thank you. SD, we appreciate you, my friend. But yeah, here I am making a huge living off of it all. Let me tell you. It's so utterly ridiculous, the shit that he says, I don't work outside the home. I'm off for health reasons. People need to accept that. Not all lives look the same, and they don't, right? I have a lot of health issues, a lot of very serious health issues. And no, my life doesn't look the same. It doesn't look the same, right? This chat may only have 157, but it's quality of people, not quantity. See, I could care less about the quantity. There's actually 159 on X, 189 on one person on Facebook, and 189 on YouTube. But I get it. I mean, that's the thing. I could care less, right? The numbers don't bother me. I have an amazing community of people that support each other. And he is what you called a paid. Yeah, well, he is, right? It's unfortunate too, because for me, it's like, I feel bad for all the people who do sort of support him because they're flushing their money down a drain. Clara and Turtleboy are trying to rewrite. Well, that's all they do is try to rewrite a narrative. Clara is the Clara. The Claire. Yeah. He's a peach, huh? Exactly. You should measure, success isn't measured in dollars, right? It's not, bottom line. But to say ridiculous, nonsensical shit and then say, I never said anything about her kids. Aren't you doing that right this very second? And also, that would be a lie. Pretending he didn't know my kid was sick. He did an entire fucking stream forever ago on it and then tried to claim that maybe it could possibly be a lie, but he hasn't looked into it. 5 seconds of research would have told you he was wrong. Anyone who knew my job for more than 5 minutes to tell you he was wrong. Like, he cannot handle the truth. And, he's threatened by anybody who speaks truth and then wakes anyone up. And he can see, just like anyone else can see, there are numerous people coming here specifically to find out what the fuck is going on, right? And to see things that they didn't see and didn't know. And it's starting to wake people up, And that's the thing. I could care less about their fucking views. They can take their views and shove it. I would rather have views from people who are like you guys. Because sorry, every day we're buffering. I think I fixed it. Hold on. Yes, thank you guys. Well, that's the thing, right? To me, it's like you're talking about yourself. You're throwing all of these, his whole like whataboutism. What about this person? What about that person? And right, exactly. That's great parenting. Just breaking orders is amazing parenting. You talk about everybody else's children. I don't know my children. I'm with my children 24/7. Like, what? I work from home. I'm home. I'm home. Like, I work, I eat, I fucking sleep. That's it. And I barely sleep because I have CPTSD. So I wake up like a million times a night, A lot, Rosewater. I have no idea how much exactly, but a lot. And so it's funny to me that he calls any other YouTube creator a grifter. Sir, you grifted $50K a month off of people who now realize that they gave money to a monster. Who are you talking about? Like, do you have a mirror in front of you? I'm confused here. Yes, he did. Of course he did. He thinks a lot of people are going to be his friends, but he can't have close friends because then they figure out who he is and that he only wants to control everyone around him. So they don't want to be his friends anymore. They want to keep a distance. And even that, they have to keep a distance, but not worry about pissing him off. Poor Mike from Young Jerks was clearly worried about pissing him off last night. And, even said, like, I had to step back after I opened my big mouth. And what did I do? I shut up so nothing would happen to me. That was his words. I shut up so nothing would happen to me. Well, why would anything happen to him? What he meant was, he shut up because people were attacking him because he was speaking out on something Aiden did that Aiden shouldn't have done. And it was truth. And he got attacked. So instead of keep talking about it, and he just stopped doing lives for like 2 weeks. Thank you, Mish. That's not okay. Why should he feel like he's going to be attacked if he says the wrong thing, but it's the truth? That's not a friend, right? If you have to be afraid of your friend, that is not a friend, New Jersey is also a same-day trip for us. It is. Yeah, exactly. I could be home for dinner. I agree with you on that. Menace, I mean, I feel like he's a domestic terrorist in my eyes. That's my opinion, You can be insane and still aware of your criminality. Absolutely. No, it would be a drive. It's like a 5-hour drive, Right. So it's mine special needs. Mind you, that's like one of the first pictures I've ever posted of my child. It was to prove a point. It was to all those people that tried to say like it was pretend or it didn't happen or my kid doesn't have, like, no, here she is. Does that look fake to you? Right. So everybody else is allowed to post whatever they want, but I can't post a picture. Get the fuck out of here. That nonsensical bullshit of trying to make people bad with your ridiculous narratives is absurdity. Absurdity. Absolute absurdity. My daughter is 20. She's over the age of 18. She controls her own money. She pays her own rent. She got her own place. She has a therapy room because she needs it for physical therapy because she's so stiff, right? She has all of her medical supplies shipped. It's amazing to me. People seem to act like they know everyone's circumstances and everyone's life. And then he just gets to speak on it, but spin the narrative that he wants because he's upset about the truth. Why not start with apologizing to people about the shit you did? It's always look at this person and look at that person and look at this person and look at that person. And this person's bad and that person's bad, mostly women. But it's never, you know what? I did something wrong. I mean, even Mike was like, I think you're above doing ratchets at this point. And he's like, nope, I'm not. My roots are ratchets. Like, what he fails to understand in his little pea brain is most of the people who are watching him weren't watching him for the ratchet shit. They started following for the Karen Reed case. They want to talk about cases. They don't want to talk about ratchets. Never mind the fact that how do you sit there and say you call out hypocrites and bad behavior when you are the fucking king of bad behavior? You have over a dozen felonies and multiple orders against you, yet you think you have the right to point out what someone else did wrong? I mean, does anybody else see a fucking problem with that? Does anyone else see a problem with that? I mean, come the fuck on with it. Let's be honest here, okay? Let's be honest. I don't know. It's not selling well. Shocker. I bet people who bought tickets now probably aren't going to go. Well, that's the other thing I was about to say, Barbara, right? He used his children for sympathy when he got arrested by lying and saying he was arrested in front of his children. And then later on had to sort of, he accidentally outed himself by saying he talked to his kids when they got home and realized they didn't see anything. They were already on the bus and gone. But he used his children as a sympathy ploy. My children saw me get arrested. All these people bought his kids brand new Christmas toys and brand new iPads because they searched their iPads, right? All these brand new things and all this money they sent him because he claimed he got arrested in front of his kids. And then later on was like, no, they didn't see anything. And then even after that, then went back to the narrative of, oh, it was in front of my kids, which it wasn't. So pick a lane there, bub. Telly made sure you were. They literally have it on. There's audio of them waiting for the bus to leave. So who are you trying to fool? Like, I talk about my children once in a blue moon because I have an audience that likes to know about my life once in a while, right? And I have we're buffering. I'm sorry, StreamYard. But it is deflect. It's all to deflect the whole goddamn thing. I mean, we all knew it was only a matter of time before he did it, right? It's only a matter of time. That's all it was. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it frickin' is. It warms my heart too. Oh my God, Benny, I love you. Right? That's the thing. If you're here for the truth, respect, man. You know? She could definitely pick. So that, oh, speaking of which, there's something that he said, right? No, yeah, you've talked to my kid a million times, but also you're a friend of mine, right? So that's the thing. Like, my kid's ambitious, you know? She tries to do things even she has physical limitations too, because she's ambitious, right? It's amazing to me when people you don't know circumstances, maybe you shouldn't speak on them. And so he said last night he couldn't talk about Kelsey or any of the other cases that his attorney takes because it's a conflict. And so he can't talk about those. Newsflash, Aiden, you're not an attorney. There's no conflict. You're a quote journalist. You can talk about any cases, including the ones that your attorney is taking. Why would that be a conflict in any way, shape, or form? You're not an attorney. You're not the fucking judge. Why is it a conflict for you to talk about cases that your attorney has? I mean, that's just a fucking excuse, really. I mean, if that's the case, then where's the conflict on talking about me or anyone else? Where's the conflict there? Where's the conflict of breaking 2 orders last night? One right after the other. One that you were just served with that day. Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. Clear. I know. It is, right? That was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It's just amazing to me, you know? It's just fucking amazing, the hypocrisy and the way that he spins shit, right? And that's the other thing. He burns his sources. He burns his followers. Like, he burns pretty much everything to the ground that he touches. You know? Oh my God, a skirt. Now I have that in my head, Barbara. God damn it. Now, not need that visual, Barbara. Right? You know, it would be nice, but I don't see it happening in any, you know, stretch of the imagination any fucking time soon. It's like, again, if you watch, like, he's got his little minions, like Will and the broken idiot. Like, you have these idiots that, like, they literally thought that my wish list, my Amazon wish list they made as content the other day. That was their content, was making fun of an Amazon wish list. There's a garlic press on there. Yeah, it's a wish list. You put all sorts of random shit on there. There's trash bags on there too. And then there's like a rug cleaner that I need because I have all rugs in my house and my child likes to spill shit. So yeah, there's everything from a garlic press to a rug cleaner to birthday party supplies. Isn't that what a wish list is for? The fact that you try to make a wish list bad in some way is fucking mind blowing to me. Like that's not content. Like that's shit that you have nothing else to talk about very clearly. Like come on. He sure does, Panda. He sure freaking does. Like and we went over that in a live stream, right? We went over that with the evidence in a live stream. Remember that, guys? You remember that? With the receipts that he used those pictures to try to set someone up. This is behavior he's been doing for years, right? He set multiple people up using fake accounts and manufacturing evidence against them, and people are now starting to wake up to it and starting to sort of look at the evidence from that and say, oh my God, I didn't know this guy was such a piece of human garbage. I only followed him for the Karen Reed case, and now I'm starting to realize like he's a bad fucking person. He's a bad, shitty person. It's like, yeah, I tried to tell you. And it's unfortunate because if some people had listened, it would have saved them a lot of fucking heartache. It really would have. And I really do feel for those people. I feel even for Karen Reed people that continue to give him money and support him, because what ends up happening in the long run is those people, including people who attack me viciously, at some point in time, whether it's someone they care about, one of their friends, someone they love, he tries to do the same thing. He'll lie, he'll spin, he'll change the narrative, and he'll attack. And then they'll come to me and they'll say, Elise, I'm really sorry. I know you don't have to accept my apology. And I could admit now, like I was in a cult. I was brainwashed because I would have never done or said some of this stuff. I didn't. I don't know how I fell for it. I did. And this is what it is, right? And I'm not one to hold grudges. Like I'm just not that kind of person. I believe life is too short for that. And so I do most of the time accept the apology and usually have a great conversation with the person afterwards, because it starts to open them up to understanding what actually happened, right? And then from there they can do their own research and figure out the things, the pieces of the puzzle that they were missing, because his narrative is his narrative, which is not the truth, you know. Me and StreamYard are going to fight today. Apologize? He doesn't know how to do that. You're right, Mish. He would never apologize. Me and StreamYard are going to fight. We're not doing this buffering bullshit, dude. We're not doing it. I'm not in the mood for it today, StreamYard. You're going to have to ease up, StreamYard, on your crap. Hold on, guys. I'm trying, this is like reloading now on the YouTube end. What is happening? Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on. It's obnoxious. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, a lot of streamers do talk about their families, their kids, their lives. I'm not allowed to though, because like that means I must be capitalizing or grifting or making money. Like I don't make money. Okay, I make very little. He does not know. He also doesn't know how to retract something that's wrong. He just will pretend it just never happened and just not talk about it if it's, you know what I mean? If it's something that people will keep calling him out on, that's what he'll do. Oh, he's done that a couple times. The hackening, right? He's claimed a couple times he was hacked when he wasn't, right? Oh, yeah. He's filed on a bunch of people these fake charges, and most of the time the cops are like, yeah, no, we can't help you, bud. But so when he started figuring out that wouldn't work, he had to start manufacturing evidence so that it would, right? He gives himself away all the time. Yeah, see? That's, tickets for the Halloween party are being sold as non-refundable. And I think people are worried if the event will actually end up happening, given all the drama. I don't know, but I also know there's probably people who bought them before some of this and were like, yeah, no, I don't want to go anymore. So how many people are actually even going to figure it, go? I don't know, Yeah, but I'm not, anybody who he doesn't like isn't allowed to do X, Y, or Z, even though he does, right? If he's allowed to talk about his kids and, where they, played baseball today or whatever sport they played, and you went to their game and then you did this and then you did that, but I'm not allowed to talk about my child because she's terminally ill, so that's off limits. I mean, do you realize how fucking stupid that sounds? That is the stupidest. My shows are not about my kid. They're not about my kid. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You know? It is actually considered that in this state it is too. Now we have revenge porn laws and stuff. No. Yeah, that's a clip I saw that he should stick to corruption stories as opposed to petty revenge ones. And he's like, no, that's where it came from. I like to do the revenge and spiteful blogs. She said this, and I was like, yep, spite blog. That's literally what he said. You can't stay petty if you want to rise up to become bigger. Well, he doesn't want to. That's very clear. He has a problem where he go do bigger and better things other than doxing people he dislikes. Well, that's I think what Mike was trying to tell him. And he just wasn't. Hey, Marianne, welcome. I mean, he was basically like, nope, I'm going to stick with hurting people that I don't like who tell the truth about me. I mean, come on. Like, ridiculous. Utterly fucking ridiculous, Hit the like button, Jesse says. I'll say, I think the Kelsey thing is awful. She doesn't deserve to be stuck in jail due to a hole in her lung and not being able to use the PBB testing. I get it, but I also think that her attorney fucked her over because, once again, he expects that everybody believe his narrative and not show evidence, and that's not how it fucking works. And I think the judge was just like, yeah, no, we're not doing this if you're not going to bring in the correct documentation to show that's the case. And because he filed twice to basically peel back everything they had just agreed to. So he filed two. The judge was pissed. Bradel tried to file twice within like a 3-day span to basically take back everything that they had just agreed to 2 days prior for her to be out. And so I think that's why it happened. But again, that's the fucking lawyer's fault. He wasn't doing good lawyering. And I mean, agree, she probably shouldn't be sitting in jail because she's got a hole in her lung, but that's her fucking attorney's fault because he's a jackass. If she had a better attorney, I don't think she'd be sitting there. That's for sure. Which comment? Sometimes YouTube just automatically hides them. The only people that are supporting, so we're the only people now are the ones who possibly got the tape and listened to it. Well, a lot of people have the tape at this point, but it's not, it's not good for either of them, that tape. And let's be clear, it's not a tape, it's a video. It's a video. Yeah, YouTube sometimes grabs them before I even see them. If they have like a blocked word in them or YouTube feels like it's in whatever of their algorithm, they'll pull it and I won't even see it or it'll go real quick. Hey, I had an eye doctor appointment yesterday. That's where I got my contacts. Have a good appointment, my friend. Wrong choice of words. Not guilty, right? Yeah, no medical. Yeah, that's what he needed. That's what they needed was medical documentation, I don't know. That's a good question. These are orders. They're not technically criminal. They're civil orders, but I do think that you'll see criminal ones follow. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Fuck. I forgot about that because she would be in segregation. That would be torture. It's like you'll go insane. Like it's basically like being in the hole, right? You're by yourself and there's no one to talk to and there's no human interaction really. Sitting there for long periods of time can do really shitty shit to your mental health. And that is not what someone with postpartum, depression needs. But I get it. But I do think it's a result of her fucking idiotic attorney being a dumb fucking idiot, Yeah, I mean, I can definitely agree that they probably drank together. I mean, he's not going to sit there and drink, watch her drink and not, you know what I mean? That doesn't make sense. You're totally welcome, Donna. Thank you for trusting me, Yeah, he definitely did drop the ball. That's my opinion. Doing this whole fucking song and dance instead of doing what he should have done, It is what it is. It is what it fucking is. It's unfortunate to me that people still buy the bullshit, It really, really is. I feel like people are better than buying. He didn't like my cup, by the way, guys. He didn't like the cup. Here's the cup. Whoa. Hold on. What is happening here? I want to hear his fucking dumbass voice in my ear. He didn't like the cup, guys. He was not impressed with our cup. He was not. He was not impressed. It's like, oh, you didn't like our cup, turtle douche? You didn't like our sipping on turtle tears cup? Wasn't for you? No, it was not a cup for you. You didn't like it? I think we like it, right? Fuck, we like it. He did. He cried like a whiny bitch. He kept banging on the door, and they had to tell him, like, shut the fuck up. This is not a hotel, sir. This is not a fucking hotel, you know? He did. He should have. He should have offered a bunch of things and evidence, and he didn't, you know? It's a great cup, right? He didn't like the cup. He had to play like part of my entire live stream just to do a show. I mean, that's pretty fucking sad. Like, you really have run out of content there, bud, huh? Ooh, I don't know. I'm shocked. No, I think she meant there was a comment. I think, was it Facebook? I don't know. It was a big, long comment. But I think if it's the name that I think it is, I think I know who it is. Hold on, let me. Yeah, he didn't like our cup, guys. He did not like our cup. That's what it was. Yesterday's bus stop live, where he then tried to say that I need to not go to New Jersey or I'm a bad parent, and then proceeded to tell people he did not talk about my child. Like, what the fuck? Yes, you did, bro. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then proceed to act like he didn't know that I had a child with a terminal illness, which he has known since 2023. So that was an act. That was all an act. This whole, oh, I didn't know. I wish your child, but that's all a fucking act. Just FYI. In case anybody was wondering, it's an act. He's known. He's been known. Let's not pretend. He cannot pretend that he didn't. He did. He did no fucking thing on it. Like, come on. Stop it. He seems to forget that people were, he bets on people forgetting about the things he's done previous or said previous. He bets on that. And also he can't keep up with his own lies. There's that, you know? It's that simple, right? It's really that simple. But he didn't like our cup, I guess, guys. He didn't like our cup. That's too bad, because I'm like, I love the cup, you know? And even more than the cup, my favorite would be this one, the Justice for the Silenced hoodie. This is my favorite, down pat, and it comes in, obviously you can see it has the name of the podcast on the back. But is my favorite by far. It comes in all sorts of different colors, of course. It's helicona. Oh god, I don't even know how to say that. Is a like a this there's like a lighter pink. Azalea is like a lighter pink, and then you have like the darker pink, orange, gray, Carolina blue, royal blue, and then a light pink, and then a sand colored one. Right? So that's my favorite hoodie that I've made thus far, because this is exactly for the people who he has decided he's going to attack on his little stupid channel, have his mob of parrots come back and parrot the shit that he says, which they immediately did. And it's like, in your minds, do you not sit there and realize, like, hold on a second, these people are literally repeating word for word what he is saying. Guys, that's how brainwashing works, okay? It's a mantra. It's something that's said over and over, and he expects you to then take that talking point and say it. Hakuna Matata. Norfolk County corruption. Well, Meredith has one called Norfolk County Tate Team. Yeah, she's not good at, like, pretending on these fake accounts. Let's also be clear about that. Yesterday, remember I told you guys, and most of you guys have been here a while. Remember I told you guys that she was the Beery R. White account. She was the Chris Albert 1993 and 1994 account. That she was the Ghetto Mellow account. She was the Cheeky Reddington account. Oh yeah, you're right. The link would probably be helpful, right? Probably would be helpful. God damn it. Hold on. Let me go to this. This is the copy. Hey, Deidre. Oh God, I don't even want to know. To be honest, I don't care. See, that's the difference. I love you. I just don't care what he has to say about me. You know, for my own, like, sanity, I don't watch him, because it's like, if he says a bunch of lies about me, it's just going to piss me off. So I'm like, I'm not even going to watch it. Somebody give me the Cliff Notes version, but I don't fucking care. You know, I don't care enough, because I know who I am. The people who know me know who I am. So it doesn't matter what kind of fucking lie he spews or nonsensical bullshit he spews. The bottom line is he's mad that he got served with another order yesterday. He's mad that I'm helping his victims. He's mad that he keeps getting fucking in trouble. And he's mad that people are figuring it out. It's really not hard. You don't need to fucking revive Albert Einstein to figure it out. He's mad because I said he's catching felonies like Pokemon. He's mad because I said he was going to keep catching them because he's looking for the elusive Snorlax. He's mad because I said his fucking blog smells like, broken dreams and fucking wet socks. He's just mad, right? He's just mad. Bottom line, he is just fucking mad. And I mean, he is admitted, this one's the one that has this one says mad. There is one somewhere, I forget which, maybe my other store front has one with the icon, not the icon, the backdrop, but not this. I have not done yet. This is on the front of the store, but I have not done any with that yet. It's really hard to get that. Like, that's got to be printed. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing, right? So Meredith accounts, and again, I've had screenshots of it for, oh, it's about him. Okay. Yeah. You definitely have to tell me then, Deidre. Me and you got to talk after this then. Not that we don't usually talk daily anyway. But again, it's unfortunate that he does this shit to himself because he just keeps shooting himself in the foot, right? He just shoots himself in the foot over and over and over and over, creates these problems for himself. And then I guess I'm going to have to do shirts with the logo on it, I guess, because I have two different logos, right? There's that one, and then there's the one of the woods, right? And then there's the one, which is this. So, and this one's hard. I'll show you guys. This one's harder to print, I have found. There aren't many places that can do it because of the way it's like speckled. See the thing at the top there? It says my name. It's got the handcuffs. It's hard because it's black and red and it's like speckled. So that's kind of hard to print. And so technically that's like the name, the icon, but the thing you see on my store here, this is my icon, right? For my show. So I had AI actually help me make this. So I spent hours trying to like tweak it a little but I guess I'm going to have to, I mean, talking about anything is really protected by the First Amendment, but that doesn't mean it's okay, right? I think, who said this the other day? JFK, maybe? Being a fucking douche nozzle is legal, right? In all 50 states. Being a fucking scumbag is legal in all 50 states. Doesn't mean you should be fucking doing it, right? Does not mean you should be fucking doing it. He is petrified because he knows she could probably bury him, I'm guessing. No, I don't think she did a cease and desist. But you never know with him. You never fucking know. Here's the thing. If you're afraid to talk about Karen, why aren't you so fucking afraid to stop breaking the orders you have? You have two separate orders about two separate women from New Jersey. You just were served with one yesterday. And you immediately start talking about her. Then, in that same show, you call Donna a scammer, which is, by the way, completely and utterly false. Completely and utterly fucking false. All right? I saw one of his dumbass viewers the other day say, oh, well, she said she was going to donate to the Karen Reed Defense Fund and then his fund and didn't. No, she did. Also, he showed that receipt. Let's be clear. There's a $300 receipt that he showed magically because he can't remember his lies, for the Karen Reed Defense Fund that she had given $300, right? Then she said, I'm going to help him out too, right? So then again, and that's minus cost. These people seem to not understand how it works. Okay. No, but that's the thing. I don't give a fuck about his First Amendment rights. See, that's the thing. You might have a First Amendment right, but there are still consequences to opening your fucking mouth, right? Yes. Everybody has a First Amendment right. Does it mean that you should be doing something? No. Or you should be talking about something? No. Does it mean you're not going to have consequences for doing that? No. No, it doesn't. So he can deal with the fucking consequences. First of all, talking about anybody's kids is fucking gross, dude. It's gross. It's fucking gross. Period. It's gross. Thank you, Deidre. Shoshana, I wish I could wrap it up in a pretty little bow for you in about 5 seconds, but I can't. At the moment, we're talking about, breaking out Turtle Boy's hypocrisy and his bullshit lies. So That's what we're doing at the moment. Hi, Chrissy. Hi, Lisa. So, that's actually a good idea. Patch. It's probably a good idea, Patch. That'd be kind of cool. But I think they can print it. It's just I got to find a store that's like can do it, because it's going to be high resolution. So it's a pain in the friggin' ass, Right. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should be doing it. It's that simple. It's not really that hard. Talking about anybody's kids is fucking gross. And then using that narrative that somehow my kid has nothing to do with my show. My kid is not on my show, right? Talk about my family once in a while, my children once in a while, right? But my show is not about my child. So to try to make some sort of wild, ridiculous statement that I somehow capitalize off my child is fucking not only completely and utterly false, but absurd in so many fucking ways. In so many ways. Like, come on. You'd be surprised how people they'll run and be like, oh, this person's saying this or this person's saying that. It happens all the time. But again, nobody wants to address those elephants in the room when it comes to Meredith, though, right? Well, like I was saying yesterday, Meredith was outed for her. And I told you guys, I've had these receipts for quite some time now when it comes to her sock accounts. I knew she was Chris Albert 1993. I knew she was Kevin, the fake Kevin Reddington account. Deidre sends $5 and says, Aiden is a cult clown leader. Truth bomb. That's a truth bomb, y'all. We have to drop some truth bomb for that shit. Oh, shit. Thank you, Deidre, for your $5 donation and that truth bomb. We appreciate you. If anybody else would like to send a truth bomb, Aiden says I'm a grifter, but he also says I don't make money, so he can't make up his mind. So maybe we shall show him what grifting looks like, maybe. If you would like to donate to the channel and my independent voice that is not, controlled by Turtle Boy like most of the other content creators. It's not controlled by his attacks. It's not controlled by anybody or fucking anything. There's a bunch of different ways you can do so. Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. There's a link in our chat at the top that you can click on and just use a good old credit or debit card and enter any amount you want. You can remain anonymous. There are plenty of people who remain anonymous. If you are on a restream, like later on you watch this and I'm not here anymore, and you donate, I end up reading them on the next live. I don't think there was any from the last one to this one. I don't think so. I think I read all of them. But I always try to make sure that I remember to read the ones that came when I wasn't live anymore, because those ones are amazing. It just brings, it gives me that pop during the day. That's like, oh, somebody's watching the show and they appreciate it. And I appreciate that, It's just amazing to me how he can call anyone else a quote grifter. One side of your mouth, I'm a grifter. The other side of your mouth, I don't even make money. Which one is it? Which one the fuck is it? Because you're right. I don't make a ton of money. I'm a very small channel. And I chose to tell the truth instead of being forced to lie. I could have lied and I could be making a lot more money right now. That's for damn fucking sure. Make no mistake about that. But I chose not to, right? I chose not to do that because I don't think it's right to sit here and lie to your audience the way you idiots do. The sewer squad, on the other hand, loves to lie to their audience. They like to pretend, and does a lot of pretending. Pretending he doesn't know what people are talking about, pretending that he didn't wiretap Karen, pretending he didn't know about the text, pretending he didn't have lunch with Meredith, pretending he didn't know my child was sick. He's known since 2023. Let's stop the nonsense. It's all a fucking act. Okay? And if you don't realize that it's an act, I feel bad for you. Because everything he does is spun into his own hateful, spiteful narrative. He can't have people knowing the truth about the shit he did behind closed doors and the shit that he continues to do. If he does, then he's ruined, right? Then he's ruined. So what does he do instead? Lie. Like a rat trapped in the corner. That's what he's acting like, a rat that's trapped in the corner. Why? Because, well, he is trapped in the corner. I think most of you know that there's a Spaces tonight at 7:00. I think you should probably check out the Spaces that's going to happen tonight at 7:00. That'd be an interesting Spaces. Chris is having the Spaces tonight. And I think, those receipts, some of you might want to keep an eye out for. I'm just saying. Some of you might want to keep an eye out for that. Yep, it's 7 o'clock. Yeah, so you're not allowed to, right, Standing? You're not allowed to question one thing that you might have a different opinion on. So, for instance, you might have a different opinion on how the court system worked, or that the judge was fair, or the judge wasn't, and everybody else says the judge isn't fair, and you're saying you think the judge is fair. Instant attack. You're a terrible human being. You're a piece of shit. Insults come flying. Like, that's not normal behavior, folks, right? That's not normal freaking behavior. It's just not. And anyone who can't see that, I really feel sorry for, right? Why is it automatically that anybody that speaks any kind of fucking truth gets attacked, right? He loves to talk about everyone's a criminal, right? Didn't he say some shit about like JFK and James Jackson and like, oh, they're criminals, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck if you committed crimes 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I care about who you are as a person, right? I was someone who was an addict. I've been sober 18 years. I've been in a prison cell, and I have also worked in the prison for the criminally insane. I brought my life full circle, right? You never know someone's trauma and the shit someone has been through. You don't get to use someone else's trauma or their really hard times in life as some sort of a gotcha, you're a bad person, especially from fucking years and years and years ago. It's insane. It's insane. Never mind the fact you have a man with over a dozen felonies and racking them up again, catching them like they're fucking Pokemon, talking about anyone else's life. And he sits there with a pride smile on his face into the camera and says, but I love this shit. I love talking about ratchets. What else am I going to talk about? I love talking about bad people and them being hypocrites and doing bad shit. Bro, you are the fucking King Ratchet. Your entire life is a giant fucking dumpster fire. And you think you have the right to talk about anyone else and how they're bad? I mean, that's a high lack of self-awareness, if I do say so. I mean, come the fuck on. When is there any accountability or responsibility, Aiden? Turtle Boy doesn't take accountability or responsibility, folks. It's everybody else's fault except Turtle Boy's. It's never anyone else's fault. He can't take responsibility. It's never his fault. Never. It is never his fault. He's never does anything wrong. He's always set up, right? He's always being railroaded by the state. Well, you're being railroaded by 2 states now, sir? Is that what's going on? Or maybe you're just committing crimes. I don't know. Just wondering, you know? Chastity, I could not fucking answer that. I have no idea. I mean, I don't talk to Grant, so I could not answer. I have no idea. I really don't. You know? I just don't get it. I don't get it. It is. And it is filled with it, because God forbid any of you guys are allowed to have any sort of, you know, opinion for anything. I can't use that as a logo, but it's cute nonetheless. It's cute nonetheless. So I have a $10 donation from an anonymous person who, instead of, we'll do the truth bomb too. We'll do the truth bomb. They would like to see the dance. They would like to see, they have requested the dance. So we shall give them the dance. I think we got a super chat. The dance. That's the dance. You know, that is the dance. I grew up with Chunkies in the cellar and Alkies in the kitchen. Now that's the thing. Like, why does that magically make you a bad person? Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? It's just sad. What matters is who the person is right now. I don't care about mistakes people made in their past. I don't give a shit about that. I care about who they are as a person. Right? And I can't answer. I have no fucking idea. I don't talk to Grant. I have nothing to do with Grant. I can't deal with his weird fucking conspiracies and saying that everyone works for K. Peter. It's fucking weird. It's out of control. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. King Ratchet is right. Hashtag King fucking Ratchet. I did. I checked it. I saw it. Yeah, it's beyond out of control at this point. Defend Cyrax. Imagine he probably would if Cyrax would give him money. If he would be his little minion, he would defend him. That's the thing. Can you imagine, right? If Will wasn't his little bitch. If Will wasn't his little bitch, do you think he wouldn't be attacking Will? Does Will think he wouldn't be attacking him? Is what I would like to know. Does he really think that he wouldn't be pulling up every little tiny thing Will has ever done in his entire life, his record and all of it? If he makes one little tiny mistake and has one little fight with Aiden, that's what's going to happen. It's not an if, it's a when. It's a literal when. Okay? It's a fucking when. It's a when. Does he really think that's not going to happen? I mean, the lack of self-awareness here is amazing. I don't get it, you know? But that's the thing, right? I am a very open person. I am not ashamed of being a dancer for years in my 20s, okay? My grandmother knew I was a fucking dancer. There was nothing to hide, and he wouldn't know if I didn't tell him, right? If I didn't say it publicly, he would have no idea. So not only is it unintelligent to give insults about my past jobs, but what are you insulting? The fact that I was a dancer and can do acrobatics? Pretty damn good. I went on to teach pole dancing classes after that, which multitude of women take. All shapes and sizes and all ages. Because it's a good workout for your body. There are literal studios for that, okay? And again, then I worked in a jail for the criminally insane here in Massachusetts. So it's like, what are you, for a man who was walked out of a building for being a teacher for sexually harassing a minor child at a football game, he's got a lot to say about other people's past fucking jobs now, doesn't he? Now, doesn't he? But that's the thing. That's what should be expected of somebody with that kind of viewership. But he can't help himself. He cannot help the petty revenge. And then he claims he's not a narcissist. That's exactly what a narcissist does. He wants to punch down on everyone. On everyone. Like, come on. He pretty much is at this point, I guess, you know? I mean, it's going to happen no matter what with him. It's unfortunate, you know? Well, you know, there's a lot of people that think he's an angel too. And if you think that, I have an igloo to sell you, you know, out in Alaska. You know, I used to work at a warehouse loading trucks in the hot, sweaty weather. All you had to do was have a pulse to get that job. Does that make me bad as well? Right? I mean, what does it matter what someone did as a job exactly? Right? What are the customers? What are the customers if the dances are bad? I just want to know, right? Like, it's amazing to me. Like, it's why we have bouncers to protect us. It's for me, it's like when you have to go and find those little things, then you have nothing to fucking say. That's your problem. Is there's nothing you can say that I haven't been open with people about already. Because I'm someone with CPTSD. I've been through fucking hell and back in my lifetime, right? I was in foster care, was abused in foster care. I had my child at a very young age, and she was already with her disease and already in and out of the hospital, trying to figure out what that was at that point, because her disease did not even exist in a medical book back then, right? And so I'm dealing with that. I'm also graduating high school at the same time, which I did successfully. And then to boot all of that off, I at the time am trying to escape my domestic violence partner, right? So I'm escaping him. I'm trying to graduate high school, and I'm in and out of the hospital with a kid. I'm fucking damn sure proud of where the fuck I came from and where I turned my life around, because someone with the amount of trauma as me probably belonged long ago in a mental hospital they couldn't get out of if they didn't deal with it, right? If you don't deal with that trauma, it just builds up and builds up and builds up. Thankfully, I had very loving people surrounding me that helped me, you know, get into therapy and do, you know, CBT therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and therapy where they sort of immerse you into what's causing you the PTSD to lighten it a little. But I'm still in therapy because I'll have CPTSD for the rest of my fucking life from the things that happened to me as a child and young adult. And I'm not ashamed to share that, because there are other people that have it. There are other people that are like, oh shit, I'm not alone. This isn't something I need to hide. This is something I am free to talk about on this channel, in this chat. I am free to be open and honest and feel like I don't have to hide that I have CPTSD, or I don't have to hide my traumas, right? Because again, this is a safe space. This is a safe space for people who want to talk about this kind of stuff. He doesn't get to decide what I'm going to talk about, what I'm not going to talk about. He does not get to. I get to. It's my fucking show. This is my show. It is not his, right? And we've talked about some pretty heavy subjects here, including suicide, because that is the way that my dad, who adopted me, passed away when I was 21, right? there, I could have, there are 2 directions. Well, really, there's 3, right? You're either dead, in jail, because there's no such thing as an addict who lives to be, 90. You're either dead or in jail. There, or you turn your life around. Those are your fucking 3 options, right? Those are your 3 options. I also had an easy option during the trial to just lie to my audience after I realized the truth and just keep raking in money. And I chose not to do that because it's not the fucking right thing to do. So he can call me a grifter all he wants, but then out of the same side of his mouth, he says, oh, she doesn't make money. Well, I don't really make a lot of money. I don't, because I chose to keep telling the truth, and it wasn't popular, and it isn't popular. Unfortunately, I am not, under any constraints to not say or say certain things. Oh, listen, at one point when I was young, I lived, probably in my early 20s, I lived on Washington Street in, right near Dudley Station in, Roxbury. So believe me, I get it, and that's the thing, right? You grew up around it and you're still out of it, right? You're doing your own thing. So does someone get to use where you grew up or what you grew up around as some sort of gotcha that you're a bad person? I mean, this is what he does. And it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't mean if it's the closest person to him. He will turn around and do the exact same thing to a source, to a viewer who has given him thousands. You are not special. His mods, it doesn't matter. You're not special. You're not special. He will do it to every and all people because he can't help himself, especially when he has nothing to talk about. Bye, Barry. See you later now. Thank you for letting yourself be known so we can just block you and never have to see your dumb face again. Bye. I don't know why the cult does it. Like, you present yourself to me so that I never have to deal with you again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But again, this is a 44-year-old man we're talking about here. He's not a child, right? He acts like a child, but he's a 44-year-old man that mostly goes after women. What does that tell you? That he's very secure. I mean, he admitted the other day he's not secure. He's insecure. He's very insecure, right? He has a lack of self-control, a lack of self-awareness. Nothing's ever his fault. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, it's not hard to figure out the shit that he does. He just thought for a while that he was untouchable, and he's not. He's not untouchable. Not by a long shot. He's now got, he complained last night. Well, every time I talk about someone, I get an order, because you don't just talk about someone. You smear, you trash, you give dog whistles to your audience so that they go and smear and trash with your ridiculous, nonsensical bullshit. Okay? That's not just talking about someone. You're doing it maliciously to be malicious. And as you described last night yourself, Turtle Boy, out of spite and revenge. Now let's talk about what his revenge is. His revenge is you said something about him that's true. He cannot have that getting out or people believing it. Therefore, his revenge is doing a petty stream about you like he did it to me about me last night. Or he does, a what he called last night as a spite blog. So it's not 2 charges. He has 2 orders against him. He was served with the second one yesterday for 2 separate people in New Jersey, right? He immediately then broke Donna's order again for like the millionth time, and immediately broke the other order for the other woman. All right. So now you're breaking the order again with Donna, and for this woman right away. I would not be surprised. And again, this is so it's like here in Massachusetts, we would call them like either restraining orders or harassment prevention orders. So the orders that they call it, I forget what they call it in New Jersey, but it's essentially the equivalent of that in New Jersey. And so he's not allowed to talk about them it says right in the order, he's not allowed to talk about them, blog about them, nothing. He cannot do any of it. Right. So, but on top of that, he has out of New Jersey a court date for a class 4 felony of cyber harassment against Donna. And he's got to deal with that upcoming. And then on top of that, I would not be surprised in the least bit, as I said the other day, if another criminal charge was filed for cyber harassment against him out of New Jersey because New Jersey is not fucking around with him. When people get orders and then you immediately spit in the judge's face by violating that order, judges don't really like that. They tend to take it as you thinking it's a fucking joke, right? So then, because he knows that I support Donna, who is a victim of his from New Jersey, and many of his other victims, publicly and privately, he decided he's so angry that I tell truth to people are waking up to, and he's so upset about these orders and that I support these victims that he's going to get on and talk about how I shouldn't go to New Jersey as a sort of veiled threat, or I would somehow be a, quote, bad parent, which is, again, utterly ridiculous. I have a husband. My kids aren't going to magically be home alone, all right? And two, I can't. Well, I do. That's what he doesn't like, unfortunately. And two, his way of sort of trying to bully me into not supporting them. The problem with that is New Jersey could, and even though I live here in Massachusetts, New Jersey could still charge him with witness intimidation because I have been actively helping his victims, and I will continue to do so, and that he is very well aware of that, which he showed last night like an idiot because he's not very smart, right? So literally, oh girl, you could say that again. And ours, right? I literally called all of this. We knew exactly what would happen, when it would happen, and exactly what he would say. I mean, what does that tell anyone, right? I knew all of the things he would say because it's not just about me, about anyone. He says the same things over and over and over and over and over and expects his cult to go after people for it. It's gross, right? It's gross. New Jersey's just not playing with him. And he seems to want to keep playing with fire, right? He wants to keep playing with fire. I don't want to hear him cry when he's charged with witness intimidation, when he's charged with another count of cyber harassment. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear him bitch and whine and cry. Because I know what's going to happen is he's going to bitch and whine and cry, and people are going to send me the clips, and I'm going to be like, well, now it's time for everybody to buy the cup that says sipping on turtle tears at that point. Like, but that's the other problem, right? You hit the nail on the head. A lot of these people are looking for something to fit into. I don't necessarily think it's desperate, but I think it's lonely, maybe vulnerable. Maybe they're in just like a weird place in their life where they're sort of looking to fit into something they think is doing some good. And then all of that comes crashing down eventually when they realize it's not only is it not doing any good, but it's actively harming innocent people that dare speak out against him. That dare. You dare say something, and I was going to write a blog about you because, well, I'm Turtle Boy and, well, I'm scary. See, the problem is with me, he knows I don't give a fuck what he says. I don't care, right? Like, you're not scary to me, bro. To be fair, my ex-abuser was a boxer, okay? So I've had my fucking face punched in by a full-grown man. Your fucking stupid words do not scare me. I'm not your whole, I'm Turtle Boy, I'm going to write a blog about you because I'm spiteful. Nobody's afraid, bro. Nobody fucking cares, all right? Stop it. Stop it. Does he think that that's going to help him? That's before I knew, like, playing old videos of me saying anything nice about him. Like, clearly that's previous to me realizing what a piece of human garbage the man was, right? Right? So does he think that that's somehow going to help him playing old videos of shit from 2 years ago? I don't get it. Like, it's not going to help him. What it's going to show is clearly multitude of people start figuring out who you are and change their opinion based on your fucking actions, sir, and your lies. That's not going to help you. And that's something he's done to numerous people too. Like, remember the time they said this about me? Yeah, then they figured out who you were, you scumbag. That's usually how it works with narcissists. They show themselves to be, normal or semi-normal people who are just, they're just kidding, or it's just satire. But then you get to know them and you're like, yeah, no, that's not at all who they portrayed themselves to be, right? Then you figure it out. So playing something old from 2 years ago is not going to fucking help you, bro. Like, sorry, not sorry. It doesn't. It's utterly absurd, really. I mean, you're right. He's done that multitude of times for a multitude of women, right? Hey, Amber. Well, that's the thing, right? We never see it in real life. It's all, through the camera or through, him playing finger push-ups on a fucking keyboard or running his mouth to a screen. Like, I mean, I think it was JFK maybe that said it. Like, you'd never see him sit there and actually shoot the fade with someone. Like, it never fucking happened. Somebody would powder someone else's hand up and fucking bitch slap him. Like, that's what would happen in a real life fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do with your little camera? Like, oh, I'm gonna videotape you. Do you realize there are people who don't care about being videotaped? Like, they would rather take one for the team and laugh than your little video camera. It's amazing to me the way some people friggin' think, and it's like, I don't understand like why you think that lying about people is going to get you somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, trying to make everyone out to be bad because they told the truth about you. Here's an idea. Take some responsibility. Take some responsibility. You know? Just say sorry. Oh, that's very true. You're right about that. I mean, obviously it would be, we're talking about if it ever happened, right? But come on, you know? Those are wrinkles from his ball sack face. Yeah. Yep. He's got a ball sack face. He's literally got a ball sack on his face. So that's, those are wrinkles in the ball sack. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's what I mean, once the public sees what's in his phones, it's going to be, I think that's also why he's panicking, right? When I used to stream, one of my mods turned on me, I've had that happen. Believe me. I've had that happen because of him. And you know what's funny is that mod, her biggest problem was, oh, well, I thought you were friends with him. So your biggest problem was you thought we were somehow homies and not acquaintances. So basically what you're telling me is you were looking for that clout or to get closer to him. Like, that's fucking weird. Like, that's weird. That shows more about you than it does about me there, sister. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, but there are people like that. They're just opportunists. They're looking for that opportunity. And it's unfortunate. It is. It's very unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Well, duh. I think, again, self-admittedly, women didn't like him before this whole Karen Reed thing. So I think he seems to think now that people love him so much and they really, really don't. Yeah, she was SMK at one point. That's exactly the person I'm talking about. Funny about that, huh? Yep. Oh, I know what the fuck's on his phone. And that's another thing. He knows that I know. Thank you, Carol. He knows that I know what's in his phones. That's a huge threat, because if I keep telling people what's in his phones and then that stuff is released in court and people realize that I knew the entire time what was in there, how's he going to explain that one away? How's he going to explain that? Right? So no, cannot have that. Have to discredit someone. Have to try to make people hate them so they don't listen. Can't have it. Same game every time. Same game every single time. He's really a creature of habit. I do think that once they get into that phone, people are gonna be very upset. Told her to come talk to me when she's ready. That's I refused to punch down. Well, that's the thing. It's punch down on who for what? You know what I mean? Like, I don't bother talking about really anybody else that sits there and runs their mouth about me. But with him, I have too many of his victims that depend on me to be a voice. And I'm not, he loves to say people are obsessed with him. There's a difference. Okay. Let's be clear about this. There's a difference with being obsessed with someone the way he likes to portray it, and people not turning a blind eye to your illegal crimes and you lying and harming people. There's a big fucking difference. I can't stand you. There's a reason why I don't watch your fucking streams, sewer turtle. But I am not, and I repeat, I am not going to turn a blind eye to you harming innocent people and spinning your fucking narrative like a web of lies, as you do normally, around people because of your petty revenge or your petty insecurity or your fucking spite because you're a narcissist. Let's be clear here. There's a very big difference between sticking up for people and having their backs and not turning a blind eye to all of that behavior and being supportive to the people dealing with it and going through it, than there is being, quote, obsessed with you. You just don't like that people are dropping truth bombs on your ass and other people are waking up. Sorry, not fucking sorry. I like to speak face to face, like I want you to see me when I'm speaking, sir. Yeah, they're ball sacks. His face is a ball sack. Just saying. That's the funniest part is he disparages cops all the time, but he's the first person to run to the cops and try to bring false evidence that he literally made up to try to get someone charged out of some petty revenge plot, you know? Mm. He did, but at the same time, I mean, I talked about it a little earlier, Amber. You're gonna when you're out of work, go back a little. Because even Mike sat there and was like, well, when it happened to me, basically, I had to shut up and I just kind of shut up and went away. So nothing, and he said nothing happened to me. Well, why would you think something would happen to you, Mike? Right? If you're like, nothing should be happening to you for you speaking up. That's the problem, right? So even Mike is admitting on Aiden's stream, like, well, I shut up so nothing would happen to me. Well, why would something happen to you? Right? If you have to be afraid of your friend and him sending a mob of lunatics after you because you are telling something that is the truth that he doesn't like, that's not fucking normal, right? So even Mike is admitting that that's what's happening. And Mike did call him out like, oh, I can't, Aiden saying he can't control the glare. That's bullshit. You control everyone you're around and anyone who has anything to do with your fucking show. All of those people who are right in that little circle of friends there. He controls everything and everyone, what they talk about, what they don't talk about. And if they don't stop talking about what he wants them to stop talking about, guess what will happen? He will tear them apart on his little spite blogs and they'll lose followers and they'll lose money. And so they stay in fucking line and they do what they're told. Like, come on, stop it. He sure does. Banana hammock on those balls. You guys are killing me today. You're killing me. You are killing me. I can't. I mean, it's true. It's true. Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Yeah, that was crazy to me. Like, they timed him out because he was running his fucking mouth for no real reason, just because he sucks, you know? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of disturbing shit, right? Exactly. No, it was 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. It was the very first one that ever existed, you know? And that was the Halloween party where he got caught, cheating on 4 women because I accidentally let the cat out of the bag by answering a question, being honest about answering the question I was answering, not knowing, like, what was going on really. So, yes and no. Hateful content like that, it's against the terms and service of YouTube. But no, you do not get to lie and disparage people over and over and over. That's harassment. That's criminal harassment. It's also cyber stalking. So no, you can't just keep making blogs and videos that are protected by the First Amendment, sending your mob of lunatics who watch you over to harass that person. That is cyber stalking and harassment. It's not like he's writing an actual story and then writing another actual story about that person. He is writing a bunch of lies and information he does not check. He waits for people to send him shit and he just puts it in there, right? He gives the dog whistle for his multitude of followers, and they go and attack that person with his little mantras. The things that he specifically says, they will go and say to that person. That is cyber stalking. That is cyber harassment. It is harassment. It's criminal harassment. No, it's not protected under the First Amendment. Again, you have a First Amendment right, but it's not absolute. And there are consequences for using that First Amendment. That's the way it works. It's not absolute. You can't just do everything and anything because there's a First Amendment. It's not the way it works. It's not free speech. Yes, you can get away with things that are that you wouldn't normally find to be tasteful, and it's still free speech, but you cannot keep using a mob of lunatics and trying to go about it through third parties to circumvent HPOs and protective orders. No, there are consequences for that. It's not First Amendment protected speech. You can't run into a theater and scream fire. That's not First Amendment protected. If there's no fire, that's not First Amendment protected. You can be arrested and charged for that. That was a Supreme Court case. Like, you cannot do that. That is not how it works. They're not going to like what they find in the end. That's the bottom line. And some of you know this and some of you don't, but they're not going to like what's going to happen when all of the shit from his phones come out. They're just not, Ox from Saved by the Bell. It's going to, right? Because that's the thing about karma and the truth. It's going to come out one way or another, That's the thing. He admits shit all the time and then forgets that he admitted it and then goes back on. It's, it's ridiculous, Well, that's the thing. He knows I know. That's why. He knows I know. He knows that I possess a lot of shit that could really fucking destroy his credibility. He knows that I help his victims, and he cannot have that. He cannot have that, stuffed in lockers. They probably gave him swirlies too. No, it's because he's grifting off of his money, right? He needs all of TB's followers, right? So he's going to back him no matter what until one day Aiden turns on him. And that's what's going to happen. You know, it's bottom line. He did rant about Joe. Or rant about STS on his stream. He did do a whole rant on STS. Like, come on, man. Coercive control. He uses coercive control tactics, which is the definition of abuse in the state of Massachusetts and many other states. Again, crime. It's a crime, you know? Well, he's been simping, dude. Dude's so far up his ass, he could spit him out. I mean, I wonder if he's tasting the rainbow up there. Like, the fuck? Oh, it's way beyond whether, Karen's case. This is way beyond, way beyond. Yeah, I heard he went on a little bit of an apologizing tour, but once again, he apologized to Flip Ahead, right? Because it's a distraction. He's trying to play nicey nice now at this point because he doesn't want this shit to keep being talked about. That's what we knew what would happen. I called it. I told you guys. But he'll go right back on that. Make no mistake. He will go right back on it. Right back. Right back. Well, see, that's the thing, right? Why not go talk about someone like that? Because he can't, That's why the Glare took down his rant video from last night. Oh, because he was afraid. I didn't watch it because, again, I don't watch his shit. Can somebody fill me in on that? I can make one. I'm Raiden Kearney. I'm scary. I totally can make one that says I'm totally doing that. Joel. Yeah, Joel. That's his name. Joel, sorry. I should have known that. I did know that was his name, but I don't know why it went, I didn't correct myself. Well, that's the thing, right? He's reverting back to what he knows, which is ratchets. But the problem with that is he's the king ratchet now, No, see, there's laws against dog whistles. There's laws against coercive control, all things that he's using. See, what you guys don't seem to understand is there are things that happen behind closed doors that you know nothing about. Nothing about. And that is what happens with him. Okay. So let's not sit here and argue about semantics. Like, he's going to jail at some point. He's being charged in multiple states. What does that fucking tell you? Does it tell you that he's doing the right thing and it's all free speech and everything's gravy? Or does it tell you that the man is committing crimes and that there's a lot more that you guys just don't know? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Ooh, I might have an answer for that. Someone just told me about something. And let's be clear. He gives vague threats and dog whistles. So again, those are not free speech. Coercive control is not part of free speech. Well, that's the other thing. There's limits. Again, it's not absolute. What do you mean they're not the same thing? Of course, they're the same fucking thing. What are you talking about? If I hear facing 105 years one more time, that is a huge talking point. Like, it's very rare he would probably get 105 years. But even if he got a quarter of that time, right? It's still most of his, able-bodied life. And again, if he keeps racking up felonies like catching Pokemon, he's be facing a lot more. And it's over 105 years at this point. And he's still under criminal investigation in multiple states for multiple things. Come on. I love you. I love you. Well, you have to remember, he's probably threatened Meredith into oblivion, hence why she keeps, thank you, Donna. He's a blogger and he's a criminal, right? A blogger and a criminal, and his blog smells like fucking wet socks and broken dreams, all right? That's what it fucking smells like. It's insane to me, right? Listen, there's a lot of stuff that I wish that I could release, but the problem with that is it would out the person who gave it to me or harm an innocent person, because then they would attack said innocent person. So there's a reason why I haven't, right? And I won't, because I don't think that anybody should be attacked the way that I get attacked, but I'm willing to take it and suck it up for these people because I've already been dealing with it for fucking 2 years, right? So But I wish there are a lot of things that I wish that I could, but I would never do that to someone because I don't wish that on my worst enemy. It can take a very big toll on your mental health and your physical health because of your mental health. So believe me when I say, if I could, I fucking would release it all of it, all of it. It would be like a Hiroshima fucking bomb, but I cannot because I have this thing called integrity and I have this thing called my fucking word that I take seriously. You know? Oh, yeah, I absolutely, you know, who knows? Who knows, you know? Well, it's unfortunate, but she doesn't have a ton of self-esteem, and I think she thinks that he's gonna come back to her some way, somehow. Hi, Cheryl. Um, and, you know, that's why she sort of hangs around, but to be fair, Meredith keeps hanging around too. She's not understanding that, like, it's over, okay? She's got a new sock account on X. It's called Norfolk County Taint Team. Still simping for him when he wants nothing to do with her, and he's even threatened her, right? Which is gross. But she's still not getting, like, he's like, dude, move on, right? She's not good at hiding behind sock accounts. She basically gives herself away pretty easily. And she almost immediately gave herself away on that account. So I immediately knew it was her in the same way that we knew. And again, the receipts are now on X, which I had most of those and a few more, that she was Cheeky Reddington account. She's the Ghetto Mellow account. That receipt isn't out there, but she's the Ghetto Mellow account. It's Chris Albert, 1994. Then she was the Beery R. Those were very vile, disgusting accounts she used to attack other women and anybody Aiden didn't like. And then she cried, poor me, about the Mary Neal account. That Mary Neal account was made long after she made multitude of fake accounts, and she's had dozens of sock accounts to use to attack other women. Why don't you do it under your own account, Meredith? Under your own name. If I got something to fucking say, I say it from the one account that I own, which is me. Or take responsibility, dude. Take fucking accountability for the things you did. Don't sit there and play victim about the Mary Neal account, because that was made in response to all of the other fucking accounts you use to attack people over and over and over for your dear man who doesn't want you. It says more about you than it does the people you attack, just saying. Now you're on to other stock accounts and you think people don't know who it is? Come on, stop it. Enough is enough, dude. Use your own goddamn account. She's too worried about what people will think. She's too worried about people not being her friend anymore. She's too worried about people realizing the person that she really is. So she hides behind these fake stock accounts. Sad. It's really sad, but that's what happens when you have people with no self-esteem. Listen, I had no self-esteem after being in an abusive relationship when I was about 18. You have to gain it back. And the way to do that is not to hang around the man that's coercively controlling you, which is a form of abuse. You know? You don't. And that's the beautiful part, Deidre. You don't have to have a good memory because you don't have to worry about figuring out which lie that you're told, right? And he does. Can't keep his lie straight at this point. When you're just telling the truth, you don't have to worry about that. I can't imagine living in the paranoid delusion that he lives in every day because he can't keep all of his lies straight. He's waiting for the next cop to show up at his door to arrest him because of all the things that he had illegally crimes in his phone and people he's done it to, and wondering how many of those people have gone to the police, how many of them are asking for charges, so on and so forth. You know? I wouldn't want to live a life like that. I would not. That'd be a shitty life to live, constantly paranoid about when the cops are going to charge you or arrest you. Well, if you didn't commit crimes, then guess what? You wouldn't have to worry about that. You know? You wouldn't have to worry about that. If you have to ask that question, you're in the wrong place. If you have to actually ask that question, because I don't use a mob of maniacs to go attack him, right? I'm very clear with my audience that they are not to attack anyone I talk about on my streams at all. So if you have to come here and ask that when I'm responding to his nonsensical bullshit, then you're in the fucking wrong place. And you probably belong going to watch him. I mean, really, though. I don't control people. I don't try to blackmail them and tell them what they can talk about. I don't tell them who they can watch, who they can't watch, which are things he does behind the scenes. I don't call people and scream at them and tell them, you can't watch Twisted Tragedies. I don't do any of the things he does while he's screaming at people, telling people who they can and can't watch, who they can be in what chat, or he's going to release this information about them that's embarrassing for 20 years ago. He uses his mob of minions to attack people. I am very clear with my audience. They are not to, under any circumstances, attack anybody that I talk about. If you have to ask that question, then you are not here for the right reasons, and you're really just here to simp for him, which is really just sad at that point. I mean, I don't know why anybody messes with Jess. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous in my eyes, you know? What is happening? Sorry, guys. Hold on. My YouTube thing here is like being a pain in the behind. No, yeah, he was screaming and yelling at her on the phone, telling her what she couldn't talk about. She had to, like, you know, try to walk back some shit. Like, come on. Come the fuck on. And she probably gets sick of it at some point and was like, I'm not doing all that, you know? It's actually not hard to prove anymore, Amber. The pattern that he has is actually very, very clear at this point, and we have lots and lots and lots of videos and evidence of him doing it over and over and over the exact same way, over and over and over. Somebody asked me, JFK asked me the other night, why don't you just tell your audience not to attack people then? Oh, I don't do that. Why not? I don't control people. That's a cop-out. All you have to say is, hey, guys, I see that you're attacking the people that I talk about on my show. Please do not do that. You could get me in trouble. I'm very clear about my audience not doing that. Why? Because it's not okay. That's fucking why. Because I'm a human. The fuck? You know? Right? Goddamn blow-ups. Any ex or future ex of this man, do yourself a favor and don't reach out to me in DMs. You'll just get blocked by me now. Sorry, been there, done that. Godspeed. I don't blame you because they probably do come to you first. I would guess you'd be like one of the first people they would want to go to, you know? Yeah, I get it. Jess Machado, yeah. I think they were talking about her in my videos, and me and Jesse were like so confused because we thought they meant her in the videos, but they were talking about Jess Machado. I saw her comment like, what? And I'm like, I'm confused too. I'm like, what? Oh, you mean Jess Machado? I was like, what? They have cat talk? Oh, okay. The amount of charges he has that he brags about. Yeah, that's not normal. Yeah, who the fuck would be happy to have all those charges? But then you want to talk about everyone else is a scammer and a criminal. Bro, why don't you use the 50 grand a month you've been making to pay for your own legal fund? Why still asking people to pay for it for you? Right. They're not drug related either. That's the amazing part. Nobody usually has that amount of charges. Like, come on now, you know? I mean, yeah, she is mean. She is petty. She's not a victim. All right. Other than of Aiden and his coercive control, that she is still simping for him at this point because she's been threatened and told what she can and can't do. You know, it is what it is. But at the same time, karma fucking comes around. You do not get to sit there and use all these sock accounts to harass women and say really deplorable, disgusting, vehemently gross things constantly, and then claim victim about the Mary Neal account that you woke up every day not knowing what they would say. You were so upset, but you were totally okay with doing it from dozens of sock accounts about anybody Aiden didn't like, especially women, including myself. Take some fucking responsibility. You don't get to play victim, dude. That's not the way that shit works. Maybe don't do things you don't want fucking done to you. I don't. Try it sometime. The hell? I don't know. That's a good question. He's got, however many cases, and then God knows if he catches some criminal ones before he has to go. I mean, they very well could hold him. I don't know. If he catches another criminal one, then Massachusetts could hold him. It's a good question, but you never know what a judge is going to do. Dirty belly buttons. Christina said he's been getting away with slandering people for over 10 years. I've followed knowing some of these people never has repercussions. No, he doesn't, but he's starting to get them now and he doesn't like it. He's not liking it. Maybe. I don't know what it was about. You're going to have to tell me, Real Fabulous, what happened because I didn't see that. So, I mean, maybe. Best Jonathan McGovern impression. Who the hell knows? Give me McDonough. Yeah, no, I won't do that. That's not my style. I will not do that. Thank you, Amber. I do too, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot to do it. A lot when it comes to my hair. Listen, I'm a weird mix, right? I'm Puerto Rican, Irish, Portuguese, Congolese. And so my hair is not curly and it's not straight. It's like crimpy, but it's like frizz central. So if I don't put it up, it frizzes no matter what, even when I straighten it. So I straightened it this morning and it's still already starting to frizz. Like, this is my life with my hair. It just never wants to cooperate. You know what I mean? Ever, ever, ever. Yeah, no, exactly. You know, personal boundaries and not wanting other people to be harmed by all of this is the reason why I don't just let it all out, you know? Hey, Donald. It's just, it just is. It's respect, you know? Me too, Donald. Me fucking too, right? There's going to be a spaces tonight. I hope you can catch it at 7 o'clock. Chris, the koala, is doing a spaces. I'll be over there on the spaces and listening to the spaces at 7 o'clock tonight. So make sure y'all are doing the same if you can. All right, let me get down to the bottom of these because I am, well, that's the thing, right? It's himself. He wants everybody else to pay for his legal representation, but he keeps racking up charges on his own and orders on his own. It's his own behavior. Why should everybody else pay for that? You know? Yeah, I mean, it takes a while for some people, and sometimes you lose it throughout things that happen in life, but you gain it back. I mean, have some love for yourself, some self-respect. And again, nobody suffers alone. You guys know that. So if you need something, you can always message us. We're here. That's exactly it. TV will love me if I do all the same things he does, or if I do what he wants me to do. And unfortunately, it, where Lauren might not have 72 fake accounts, she also isn't innocent in all of this. Let's be clear here. Okay. People in Atlanta got arrested on terrorism charges, and one kid died by police for sleeping in trees because they don't want the city to cut them down. Oh, damn. That sucks. Well, he is in a former jail right now in his head. You have to be living in, mental health hell by being that paranoid all the time that you're going to be arrested, but it's of your own doing. Yeah, Bai is right. It's your own doing, you know? He doesn't understand. Not only does he not understand activism, dude, he's claiming things like he can't talk about cases that his attorney takes because it's a conflict. How is that a conflict? You shouldn't be talking to your attorney about any of his cases anyway. It's confidentiality between him and his other client. So what conflict would it be? Your attorney should not be talking to you at all about any of his other cases. So how would that be a conflict if you covered a case that he's the lawyer of? Does that make any sense? Like, no, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. That's such a fucking bullshit excuse to just, oh, I need to talk about ratchets because I can't talk about those. I mean, there's a million other cases on planet Earth. You're just not, I know, not today, StreamYard. You're not a true crime channel. You don't know anything about legalities or how to read a fucking motion or know what it means. That's why he doesn't do it. You know? You can't hide people from X, only I can. That's probably why. But yeah, we'll get him. Yes, it's very different. Listen, as a person who has been a volunteer advocate for as long as I have, I advocate for the people who are going through domestic violence, whatever. I don't go after their abusers, right? There's a big fucking difference. I don't write all these things online about the alleged perpetrator, the alleged abuser. That's not what someone does who is an advocate. I am advocating for the person who needs the advocating. I'm not going after their abusers or the perpetrator in any way, shape, or form, because that's not the job of an advocate. It's to advocate for the person who's going through it. That's it. And their family, their children. Like, that's it. Big difference. It's going in and talking to our lawmakers about why a specific law needs to change and how has it affected people and your own families, and why and how a law would make it better, and what you could write into that law to make it better, right? There's a reason. I might be. I might be. Exactly. Like, do not do it. It's common sense, though. You would think it would be common sense, but the fact that he never, ever will say it, ever, not once, even after all of the charges he's getting, all of the third-party violations, why won't you just say it? He won't, because that's where he gets his, perceived control from, is by using his mob of maniacs to harm people. If he didn't care and it wasn't about control, he would easily just be like, okay, guys, you're getting me in trouble. Please stop doing it. He doesn't for a reason, you know? Well, there were no charges against Yuri and Tully. Those weren't charges. Those were investigations, like internal investigations. And they were investigated and the claims were dropped. Well, that's the thing, right? Nobody sees the pride he takes in hurting people and spinning a narrative. That's all he does is spin his own narrative about why someone should be bad. He can't tell you the real reason why he thinks they're bad, which is petty, right? Revenge, or because he doesn't want other people to believe what the truth is because he knows he would be ruined. Can't tell people that. So he's got to come up with a reason. He's got to come up with a narrative, you know? It's unfortunate. Oh, it much more. You have to, rile people together, have a place that you can meet, have a place that you can have meetings. Like, there's a whole, like, you have to plan out where everybody can park, where everybody's going to be, where you're legally allowed to be, where you're not legally allowed to be, where you're legally allowed to have a sign, what you're not legally allowed to have on a sign. There's a whole slew of things you have to go through to do that besides just screaming in a street, you know? Right. Places need permits. There are certain places you need a permit for, which are free, but you still need to go to the city hall and get said permit. Like, if there's a certain amount of people, like, there are things you have to go through to do these. Amber, I hope that at one point, but I just don't think it'll ever happen. I just don't think that that's going to happen. I really, really don't, unfortunately. Life is a highway. It's called the golden rule. And search for tomorrow. Okay, I don't know what that means, Joe. I don't know what that means, Joe. The golden buzzer. I wish I had a golden buzzer. That'd be great. I wish I had a golden buzzer. Sean in the Gulf saying they're probably everywhere. They're probably everywhere. 2 kids, 5 drinks, 20 kids. I don't give a shit. Sean says a lot of I don't give a shit. Yeah, they are. I mean, the cult blew the whistle last night. You know how that works, The dog whistle was blown. Now they got to come in here and say ridiculous, nonsensical bullshit. I'll be watching Spaces too. Exactly. I do take pride in my community and not these shitty fucking humans, right? Like, come on. Maybe they will listen now. Well, and see Karen's guilty. Listen, I'm far beyond that at this point. Some people have actually told me like they have questions about it. They're not ready to ask or talk about it now because they're just getting out of a cult. That's literally what they've said to them. Just get out of a cult, at least. I'm not ready to have that conversation, but I do have questions. So it's like when they're ready, I'm ready to have that conversation. What's funny to me is as soon as they comment, they are now showing themselves to me. So now I can just block and ban you and never have to deal with you again. So thank you for presenting yourselves to make it easier for me in the future. Assholeism. Assholeism, Meredith wanted to apologize for me for making the Esther Reed account and more. Oh yeah, she was out of account too. I said I would talk to her if she publicly apologized too. She rescinded because she didn't want it public. Yeah, well, gee, I wonder why, right? I wonder why. Nobody wants to publicly apologize. They want to do public damage, but they never want to publicly apologize. That's not ever a thing, Hi, Lurking. I'm not really sure what this means. If you don't know who to believe or trust anymore, then you should probably know that that's your gut, right? Telling you that something's wrong. Right? So if that's the way that you're feeling when it comes to the whole turtle boy nonsensical bullshit, it's because your gut is telling you red alarm, red alert, something is wrong, right? I don't need to be dishonest. See, that's the difference, right? I live my life with my head held high because I am an open book. I have nothing to hide. Unfortunately for him, he does. Right? Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. Well, that's the thing. He does it and gets caught. Well, that's the thing, right? Like I've taken plenty of private apologies, but I do think at the same time, the people who are willing to give the private apologies at some point should be, willing to give a public apology, because if you are willing to trash somebody so publicly, why not apologize publicly? It's a fake account. Be a fake account. People make fake accounts. I don't know. I mean, who has time to make all these fake accounts is what I'd like to know. How do you have time to switch between all of these fake accounts? Like what? I don't know. I don't know. Right? That's unfortunately, that's probably how she thinks now, because you can bet he's probably recorded her. Like if you say anything, I'm going to show everybody you flipping out like a psycho. I mean, it's what he does, Oh, you sweet summer child. I love that. It is on trend, right? Kit Boga? I don't know what that is. Well, they do. They still mean something, and I can understand in a way, why people do it. They don't wanna be attacked either, and I get it, but at the same time, I was attacked, you know? Oh, you're referring to Sweet Summer Child. Got it, got it, got it. You know? It is what it is. Yeah, but I mean, it's unfortunate, but he goes after pretty much anyone. Like, especially and women, it's what he does. He is a coward. I'm an asshole, yo. Hello. Oh, you were on a conspiracy dog walk. That's what we call conspiracy dog walks over here. Conspiracy dog walks. Hi, Christy. Love ya, but distracted by my husband in the kitchen cleaning dishes. Well, I'd probably be distracted by that too if my husband was maybe shirt off cleaning dishes. you know? Well, for Meredith, it should have been publicly by the way that she trashed her, it should have been publicly, bottom line. And it's like, do you expect it to not get out? All these sock accounts that you were, Like, why not just take responsibility at this point? But you cannot play victim at the same time. That literally made my stomach drop. I was so sick, you know? I was so sick. I was disgustingly sick to my stomach when she decided she was gonna play I'm the victim. You're not the victim, Meredith. You're not the victim, okay? You can't claim you're a victim of one account and what it says about you when you've made dozens, and I mean dozens of fake sock accounts to go after people. Like, that's not normal. It's not, okay? It's not normal. We're here 2 hours and 23 minutes. If you guys would like to support the channel, there are a bunch of different ways to do so. We could use the support for sure. Like Aiden says, we don't make a lot of money. So, we depend on the kindness of all of you to keep us chugging along. Choo-choo. And we appreciate any and all support coming from all of you. There's a billion different ways you can do so. We have Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, Revolut. We have a link in the chat that goes to you can use your debit or credit card. You click on it. You can remain anonymous, of course. And then we have a wish list all of that stuff is in the description of the video. So that's all the information is always there for you guys throughout the stream. There's a ticker that stays at the bottom of the stream screen with all of the information in it besides the link. But the link is always in the description of the video on YouTube and in the chat at the top, pinned to the top. Walking my German boar dog. That's a big dog, Well, you would have definitely by now, Carolyn, because there are people who know me in person, I feel like I'm always cleaning dishes too, right? I don't have one of the garbage disposals either, so it's unfortunate. Some fake accounts are well, that's the thing. I guess to be clear, there are people who make fake accounts and that is their only account. Like that's their only account with the fake account or their only one besides their personal one because they're too afraid to express their opinion under their own name for fear of being attacked by the cult, right? There's that, right? And then there's making multitude of dozens of fake accounts to attack people. There's a big difference, right? Obviously, I have no problem with people making a fake account to give an opinion and not be attacked because sometimes, I choose to say with my chest, right? And use my own account because anything I say, I want people to know it's fucking coming from me, right? I don't want to hide behind anything, but I'm also somebody who does YouTube channel. So there's a difference, right? I don't have a problem with people making a different account to express themselves because they don't want to be attacked. They shouldn't be attacked. That's not normal behavior, It's just really, really not. It's not normal by any stretch of the imagination. But you definitely would have, Caroline, because people here know me in person, They know me in person as a human being. No cat whistles. Well, there's plenty of dog whistles, but I don't know about cat whistles. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a dishwasher either. It's all by hand, baby. All by hand. All by hand. Thank you, Emily. That was very nice. You have 8 cats, or does your wife have 8? Listen, maybe she loves cats. Some people have a lot of dogs. Some people got birds. I couldn't do birds. Does anybody have birds? I could not do birds. I could not. I could not do birds. They would drive me bananas. They would drive me freaking bananas. And I get that. I understand that. I understand the personal safety aspect of it. And I don't have any problem with people who, oh, you have ducks and a goose? I love that. I love that. You have chickens? Ooh, chickens. Do you get their eggs? Do you get eggs? Do you get fresh eggs from your chickens? I always wonder that. Eggs are expensive right now, like really expensive. So it kind of would be helpful, right? If you had chickens that you could get eggs for. But I think I was told that they don't like have they don't make like a ton of eggs. Like you'd have to have a lot of chickens to have a lot of eggs. Like it's like one a day or one every couple days, whatever it is. But I was told they don't do a lot, but I know nothing about how many eggs the chickens lay. Yeah, you sure do. Well, me and StreamYard have a beef right now because it won't stop doing this whole buffering thing today. You do have ducks, little duckies. Duck eggs. Wait, ducks do eggs? I don't know. Does people actually eat those duck eggs? Is that a thing? Horses. I love horses. My daughter, who is, yes, blind and disabled, she blindly disabled rides therapy on horses for her joints because she's very stiff with all the arthritis in every joint. So it helps with her joints. So she loves doing therapy. She has like goes riding as a therapy, which insurance will pay for so many times a month. So I also have a friend who does that as a living, and she is amazing at it. Shout out to Claire. She's an amazing job doing that, and doing the therapy riding for her clients. I know how to flip one. You're a dumbass. 10 hermit crabs. Do they have cages for those? Did you have to put it in like a cage? Miniature goat. You want a miniature goat? My friend has goats. I don't know about miniature goat, but she has goats. She's very proud of her goats. You know, 1 egg per day per chicken. Interesting. Right? Like I didn't know how many, but I know that someone said, maybe I couldn't I don't know who exited where or when, so I couldn't answer that. You might mean Esty. I'm not sure who, like I said, who exited where and when on the last day. 2 dogs and 1 cat. I mean, I think miniature goat would be pretty cool. Could we get miniature goat clothes for the miniature goat? Right? I want a unicorn. Do I get the unicorn? So, fun fact, my husband's mother's boyfriend owns like a little farm, and they have guinea hens and horses and donkeys and chickens and a rooster. All those things would drive me nuts. I couldn't do the rooster. And goats. There are lots of horses in my area too. Lots of horses. One day, maybe. Yep. Therapy riding is a good thing. They are very in tune. Very, very in tune. Horses are freaking majestic, amazing animals. But Jethro's such a big baby. I just want to like squeeze his little face. I just want to squeeze his little face. So freaking cute. So freaking cute. Yeah, there's a riding ring. They have a riding ring at the little farm that my husband's mother's boyfriend has. So it's like a ring where you could ride the horses. They used to do lessons there a long time ago. I don't think they've done that in a long, long time now. I think they just board people's horses there. But I mean, we can always walk over when we're there once in a blue moon and look at all the animals. And we do. They have like a barn dog and a barn cat, and the cat's always somewhere different. It's so funny. Be like laying on a bale of hay, just soaking up the sun. The goats come over, bothering the cat. It's kind of fun to watch all the animals interact with each other like that. He is a good boy. He's a very good boy. What a good boy. Jethro's a good boy. He's a handsome boy. He's a handsome boy. Okay, so she wasn't. So it was just you then. Just you then. Beach crabs, as in the store being sold. So I've only seen them, like the little mini crabs. I've only seen those like when they put them in the little tiny look like little fish tanks almost, you know? They look like little tiny fish tanks. Little tiny baby fish tanks. All right, let me see here. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I'm just checking something real quick. No. What is that? I get the weirdest. Oh, one of my shorts. Dang it. Sometimes YouTube will be like, you're, you know, because the shorts, if I'm swearing in it, it's like not suitable for all ages, right? So it'll like tell you that it's going to limit the ads or not allow ads on it because you swore, you know? No, that was her. No, it was. It was her. It was her. That's why I said I don't know if it was Meredith or her because I don't know who exited when, but if Meredith wasn't there, then yeah. Well, you're telling her that now. Oh, Leah had goats, she said they're a pain in the butt. I mean, I feel like it's greatest hits everywhere, right? Like, in my opinion, if he's talking about you, it's because he's nervous and he's afraid. And so I'll take that as a compliment because there would be no reason for him to talk about anybody if he wasn't bothered by what we had to say. Chickens! Everybody has chickens, man. I feel like with my yard, I probably could have chickens, but I don't have time for chickens. I don't got time for that. They molt? Do you have to get them new shells? Do you have to put like a new shell in there so they get like a bigger shell? And then do you have to give them like numerous shells where they can pick from one? What if they don't like one of the shells? Like, will they like leave it alone and then you put another one in there and they're like, I like that shell. Like, is that how it works when they molt? Is that, I don't know how hermit crabs work, so I'm asking. I'm a curious person. Like, now I need to know. First of all, let's be clear. Ducks are adorable, especially when you see the little baby ducks. When the ducks are first born and they're just like little tiny baby ducks. I mean, how does anybody not just want to like snuggle the baby duck? It's so cute. It's so cute. It probably would have been better off if you didn't, Joe, to be honest. It probably would have been better off if a lot of people didn't know that he existed, you know? Bantams, and they all have different I bet they do, right? You give them all names and they all need little different personalities, right? Yeah, I mean, that's a threat to him, right? And also it was a threat to his girlfriend at the time. Can't have that, right? Can't have that problem. Cannot. See? And that's the beauty of people being able to freaking talk to each other. Isn't that amazing? Missed connections, missed friendships, missed sort of people lifting each other up. Well, that's one of his biggest problems is he hates when he can't control someone. And because there's nobody for him to go to control me, it just ain't going to happen. There is nobody that controls me. Ask my husband. It's not a thing. Okay. No one tells me what I can and can't fucking do. It's not a thing. All right. I'm a grown ass adult. I don't need permission from anybody but myself. All right. And he cannot control me in any way, shape, or form. He has nothing to try to control me with. So that's a big bother for him. It's a big problem. Normally, he's used to being able to like blackmail someone or wiretap them and use that, or use some sort of, I'm going to put you in a blog, man, trade away, and I'm going to put you in a blog, man, you know, that kind of shit. You know, I could. Where is it? Where's the ducks? Let me find it. It's a song on here. Is it really? Let me see. I'm gonna feed the ducks. We got a duck song. Feed the ducks. Let me see. Oh, I see it. It's called Feeding the Ducks. Here it is. Feeding the ducks. We feeding the ducks over here. Well, I mean, they kind of play themselves when they try to troll shit that actually people like. It's funny to me. Sick beat, yo. called the Feed the Ducks song. It's literally called Feeding the Ducks. I kid you guys not. It's called Feeding the Ducks. That's fucking hilarious. You get a cracker? You feed a duck. You get a cracker? You feed a duck. We're feeding ducks. See, and that's the kind of thing that Aiden hates about people. Like, he can't do fun banter with his audience. All he knows is negativity and anger and trashing people and bad. He can't do fun, playful, feeding the ducks banter. Like, that's not a thing of his. Like, it's just not. It's just really, really not. Ooh, watermelon? Ducks like watermelon? I didn't know that. That's a fun fact. Don't bite my finger. Don't bite my finger. Right? Kind of catchy. I feel like I can make a diss track with this. Imagine a turtle diss track with the Feed the Duck song. You guys crack me up, dude. I can't do it. I know, I totally will. Just getting in. You know what I'm saying? It just plays over. That's hilarious. I can't. What else we got here? Rock? This one's called Rock. Oh. It's very serious. Dance pop. Why is that one the only one? Oh, this one's called Night Driving. This is Night Driving. Into Space. I'll tell you who's fucking blasting off in outer space, dude. The delusional cult blasts off in outer space on a daily basis. Acoustic cinematic. Hilarious. I forgot those even existed, those songs. I just got, like, noises. I forgot the songs existed. Okay, good. Good. There's ways to enter the blocked word, like add a blocked word to like the settings of blocked words under community, I believe it is. I don't know what settings the mods have. See, that's the difference. Maybe Ashley can tell you because I have different stuff than you guys do. But maybe she could show you. Doogie Howser. Dun, dun, dun. I love Doogie Howser. Who didn't watch Doogie Howser when they were a kid? Youngest doctor ever. You know, he was a genius. An absolute freaking genius. Okay. Here's the deal. See? Who doesn't love feeding the ducks? I mean, it's like a fun activity for all ages. You know? Oh, God, Carol, you're a trooper, my friend. You know? You are a trooper. It's what he does. We knew he would do it. I think he also just didn't realize that I don't give a fuck. See, that's the difference. I don't give an actual fuck what he has to say about me. I don't give an actual fuck about what his idiot cult minions come here and then repeat his mantras. When they have to repeat the same thing that he said in the exact same words, it's like, how do you guys not compute in your brain that you are in a cult? Okay? Because he says something does not make it true, folks. Right? That's just not the way it works. He doesn't check information. He doesn't make sure it's true. Doesn't make sure it's right. Doesn't make sure it's the right person. He doesn't care. Doesn't care. He just does whatever someone sends him and calls it a fucking day. Oh my God, you are a fucking genius. We're doing it. Not feeding the fucks. Instead of feeding the... Oh my God, you're a genius. We're going to do it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing that. We're totally doing that. That's freaking genius, Leah. That's genius. I kind of felt bad for him too because, you know what's happening. You know what's happening. You know that he can't say certain things because he'll be attacked. Right? Legit. And that's the sick part. Like, that's not normal. That's not fucking normal. It's not normal behavior. Oh my God, I love it. All the shells. Oh my God, I love it. I freaking love it. Why did I not know that this existed, Christina? You've just opened my eyes to a whole new world of stuff I didn't know existed. I love this. And oh, they like eggs. I am flabbergasted right now about how these crabs work, and I did not know. But yeah, you're right. That's the thing. Difference of opinion requires people to call your jobs and your family and your like, what? That's not normal. Anybody who thinks that's normal has been following Turtle Boy for too long. Okay. That's not normal. To have an opinion and to civilly discuss it, cool. If you can't agree, then you agree to disagree and you call it another day. You talk about something that maybe you can't agree on, right? Or you respect someone's opinion and you move on. There's no reason to be insulting one another and destroying people, writing spite blogs. I mean, it's insanity, right? It's insanity. It's absolute. It's not normal behavior. You know, I can't. I think you took the words right out of my mouth. It's not my cup of tea, right? But I applaud him saying something because something had to be said. You know, it's Aiden's completely oblivious to the fact that he takes himself out with his own little petty revenge and jealousy issues. He takes himself out. He starts all these little fires everywhere and then expects that everybody else is going to take the hit for them. No, it's your problem. Like, you need to fix it. I didn't know they ate all that stuff. That's interesting, you know? And I don't doubt that it was SD, because I'll fit you in on a fun fact. I don't know anybody on this side that does that because we don't believe in that. We don't believe in doing that, right? That's not like a thing we believe in doing. Is, I think there was one time that people heavily did, and then we're like, yeah, like that's probably not the right thing to do. And that was way, way, way long time ago. But it's not like, okay, you can have a different opinion. You can even be a vile piece of human garbage. Like him, but I wouldn't call his job. I wouldn't call his job. I'd call him out like I do here, but I wouldn't call his job. It just, or call your spouse to begin with. What does your spouse have anything to do with anything, right? And not for nothing, but your spouse does some very important work, okay? Very important work. Very. And so to interfere with that is to interfere with saving people's lives, all right? And that's just gross, if you ask me, okay? So, no. Chickens lay the most eggs when I feed them, take out leftovers. That's interesting. Everybody feed your chickens the leftovers. You'll get more eggs. There's a lot wrong with people, but they think this is an okay thing to do. Why? Because once he says your name and where you live and what your spouse's name is and all that stuff, that's the dog whistle. Once he starts talking about you, that is the dog whistle for them to do all these things. And it's gross. They don't care about whose money they mess with and whose they don't. And they don't care what happens to you after that. That's what I'm saying. Like, he wasn't even involved in any of it. He had nothing, just like my husband is. It had nothing to do with anything. Nothing at all. Nothing other than popping his head in to give me a kiss when he's leaving, coming or going, or bringing me something. Like, that's it. You guys might get a good one-liner out of him once in a while. He might pop his head in once in a while, but other than that, he has nothing to do with anything. He just doesn't. It's not normal behavior. It's just not, Right. It's not normal. And the amount of times that either Leah or me or anybody from that matter has been accused of it is so funny to me, because we would never do something like that. Never. It's not like, okay. You start to realize, I forgot about that. There was you and there was a bunch of other people too. And it's like, maybe you can just agree to disagree, right? Maybe you could do that, because that'd be the same thing to do. Oh yeah. No, yeah. Yep. A lot too. Not just a little, a lot. And she doesn't even have kids. So that goes to show you, you know what I mean? Like, it's not normal behavior. It's just not. They don't care. And it's like, do you even know the whole story? And that's the problem, right? A lot of these people don't know. They only know what he tells them, which is a very skewed version, twisted beyond belief of what he wants to tell you. It's not the truth by any stretch of the imagination. It's the narrative he wants to spin. That's it. That's literally it. It's just not sane and normal behavior. It's not okay. That's just not. And the fact that these people clap it on like seals, I think is the part that gets me, because that's where he gets his inflated ego. And actually, Mike did call that out last night. He did. He said, these people gas you up. Right? And they do. They gas him up and they're like, aha, so funny. Aiden, so funny. Turtle Boy, aha, that's so funny. That person sucks. That's so funny. Ha ha ha. until it happens to them or someone they care about. And then it's not so funny anymore now, is it? It's not funny anymore. I've had death threats, dude. That's not funny. That's not funny, right? They've said things about my children, things I will not repeat, things that should happen to us that I will not repeat. I mean, that's not sane behavior, okay? And they would never have done it if they didn't think it was gonna, be in a nod from their leader. That's the sick part. That is the sick part. Same, girls. He must have said it at the same time you sent it. Same, dude. Same. I mean, I know other people who've gotten them too. A multitude of them. That's not okay. You know? I call it like I see it. And unfortunately for him, he doesn't like it because what I'm saying is the truth. And if people start believing what I'm saying, that's a huge problem for him. It's a very large problem for him. The evidence changed. The evidence, the real life evidence. I've told this story probably 1 billion times at this point. Me thinking Karen's guilty and not liking Aiden are two totally different things. They're not one and the same. Just like there are people who think Karen's innocent and they don't like him at all. Two things can be true at once. He's a piece of human garbage, and I found out from evidence, right? There was no evidence back then. There was only what Aiden was telling you. And unfortunately, when he gets caught in multiple lies, then you have to start questioning what is true and what is not, right? Which is what I started doing. Started going back and saying, holy shit, hold on. Something is not freaking right here. And so then, God forbid, I tell the truth. A question is asked of me. I answer it. And inadvertently, he gets caught cheating on 4 women. And then I become public enemy number 1. It's my fault. It's my fault because I didn't lie for him. Well, it's not my fucking job to lie for you, bro. I'm sorry. It's not. Don't do stupid shit. Don't do shit you're not supposed to do and get caught at and then expect everyone's going to lie for you. No, that's my word. That's my integrity. I'm not fucking lying for anyone. And you're not my friend. So no, sorry. Can't help you with that. It's not a thing. He's not a good person. Okay. When you realize how easily he could get up and lie in front of thousands of people, even if it's to a camera, when you realize how easy it is for him to do that, you have to start questioning everything he said, right? And then when you do that and you go back and you dig in, you're like, oh my God, this is real bad. This is really, really, really bad. Really bad. So a lot of people start figuring out, wait a second, there are some shit I was lied to about. There is some shit that I was not told. There is some shit he has hidden. And there are a lot of innocent people that I thought were just bad that were not. I had to take a look at fucking everything. At everything. It's not cool, but it's even less cool when you expect everyone's going to fucking lie for you or they become the devil if they don't. That was his real problem with me is I didn't lie for him and Lindsay caught him and then he got caught by his wife, right? And it was 4 women, his wife, Lindsay, and 2 other women. Okay? Lauren and another one that I won't mention. So 4 all at once that he got led to being caught. It's not my fault. It's not my problem. Don't do that and you won't have to expect people lie for you. And why would I be expected to lie for you? It's not my fucking job. I know I really should do something like that, but you know me, I can't. First of all, I'd have to have a car to be able to easily get there. And B, I don't know if I could sit through church. I was raised Catholic, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up. I don't think I could do, I haven't been to Catholic church in a long time. I'm more spiritual than I am religious. Let's put it that way. And also I'd have to be able to get there. And that's difficult at the moment, Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't understand why more people don't start to see what's happening right in front of them. And I can say, and Leah can back this up, I keep getting emails from people who are waking up, who are seeing all of it, who are like, I am so sorry. I did not realize that there was a lot of other things that were going on that I didn't know about. And I was led to believe you're just bad. I didn't even give you a chance. He said you were bad. So I automatically thought you were bad. And that was that. And I apologize because I probably, obviously, at this point, not only should have listened, but I should have given you a chance. Right. And so more and more people every freaking day are sending me these DMs, emails, messages on social media. And they're waking up, and he can't have that. He cannot have that. That is not something that he can do. You know, it's unfortunate. It doesn't. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Esty's probably with you on this comment, acting like Free Karen Reed, acting like anti matters that much anymore when the case is over. It's all the same. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, who gives a shit? The case is over. It doesn't matter what we believe and what we don't believe. The case is over, right? There's a civil case happening. Whether she'll be found, that there's a different standard there, right? Is it more plausible than not that she did? And it's not the same as reasonable doubt, okay? And I don't think she would, have a easy time winning a civil suit like that. Even so, we can still be humane to each other and not insult each other and tear each other apart just because we believe something different. Thank you, Red Sky. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Also, I can get this off the screen. But we don't have to tear each other apart. It's not a necessary thing to do, right? It's just not. Thank you. I mean, he can file as many lawsuits as he wants. He can file them all. I don't give a shit. I don't know who he's filing lawsuits on, though. You can't file a lawsuit on people who are telling the truth. It's unfortunate for him, I watched church. Hey, it's probably a good idea. I didn't think about that. It's probably a good idea. Well, I can answer this somewhat. Well, she stepped away, right, from the evidence of the wiretapping because Aiden didn't want her talking about it, essentially. And, he was trying to sort of control what she talked about and what she didn't talk about, screaming and yelling at her, telling her she can talk about this, she can't talk about that. And that's a problem, right? It's a problem. When he's saying this person is bad, and then the next day he's making nicey nice with that person. So then Jess is going on her show saying something mean about that person because she's trying to back up Aiden. And the next day he's making nicey nice with them. Then she looks like the asshole. So there's a multitude of reasons why. There's a multitude of reasons why. And it's because Aiden can't pick a fucking lane. All right. He's swerving hard and he can't pick a fucking lane. He needs to pump his brakes, right? And he doesn't know how. He's too busy catching felonies like they're fucking Pokemon at this point. He's still looking for the elusive Snorlax. And again, it's unfortunate, but it's what he does. So it's not shocking in the least bit. I mean, I don't care too much about what the fuck happens, whether with Wendy or not, to be honest. That case, I feel like, has been over there's been 3 or 4 trials in that one. It's essentially done, it is what it is. But again, that's essentially why, because you don't want somebody screaming and yelling at you, right? Telling you what you can and can't talk about. And so after you say something, then he wants you to walk it back, right? So after she says, Will's heard the recording, this person's heard the recording, that he wants her to then walk that back because, well, it puts those people in a shitty position. Well, don't fucking lie. And you don't have to be put in a shitty position. It's really not that hard. It's really not. Don't fucking lie. Don't lie. You're not on the replay crew. You're here live, even though you might start at the beginning. You're still here live. You're still here live. Right. You can't without your fake fucking evidence. You can have fun with that. Yeah, I mean, definitely everybody should have something that they go to, whether it's music, church, painting. Like, there should be something that everybody has an outlet for. And it definitely does help having some sort of outlet, Yeah, and I'm sure you will, because that's the thing. You can have an opinion that's different from other people and still not, insult and attack them, because I'm sure not everybody you're friends with has the same religion, right? You don't all like the same culture. You don't have, the the same color. You like blue, I like pink. But does that mean that because you like blue and I like pink, does that mean that I need to now tear apart your life because you don't believe what I believe and I believe in it so much that I think you're a scumbag now because you don't like pink? Does that sound normal to anyone? That's essentially what we're talking about here. You don't have to agree on a case, but what you don't have to do extra is harm other people to hide your own dirt. And that is the shit that Aiden does. Instead of just admitting to his wrongs and apologizing, which I think people would understand in some way. I don't think at this point, because he's done way too much dirt in the last however many years. But if it was just one thing, I could see how maybe they would. Instead, he doubles and triples down, blames everyone else but himself, and then lies about innocent people to spin a narrative that they're bad so that nobody will listen to what they have to say. It's the same playbook over and over and over. Over and over and over every single time, you know? And that's okay. You can think she's innocent without having to like anything that has fucking anything to do with him. Because, again, the man is just a bold-faced liar. It's not a good person by any stretch of the imagination. There are people in my chat that believe both sides. Both sides. And they're not here screaming and yelling at each other, calling each other names, bashing each other, calling each other's works, calling each other, horrible things. You don't see that, do you? It's probably one of the places the only one of the places on YouTube right now that you'll see that happen, where there'll be two sides in one same chat. Literally. Literally. You can have 4 bowls of ice cream if you want. To be fair, I'm now have a serious issue with, I like to put sliced bananas in my ice cream, but I now have an obsession with coffee Oreo ice cream. I like mint or mint Oreo, but the coffee Oreo is pretty good. It's pretty delicious. But that means you can have as many as you want, Joe. As many as you want. But that's why that's why it's a safe space, right? It is kind of like a debriefing, right? Right? Take the stress off. Woosah. Goose fraba. You're welcome. Coffee. Some people say it like that. New York. Coffee. That's how they say it. Right? You could do whatever you want when you're tired. You could sleep until 10 if you wanted. You could sleep until 10 if you wanted. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I feel like at this point, they should know better. He's admitted shit to them, and then they just gloss over it as if he didn't, Well, Caleb, that should be clear at this point. If it isn't, you might need to go back. It should be pretty clear. Well, that's the thing. We have to be enemies. We have to be enemies because if we're not enemies, then people might listen to what we have to say. And if they listen to what we have to say, then it's probably not good for him. He can't have that. He cannot have that. That is not something that he can have. He just can't. He cannot. Right? There's so many of you. It's not even just you, Dieter. There's so many of you, right? And we can have relationships. You do that. You have fun with that. No, of course not. But that's the thing, right? That's the thing about free speech, as he likes to put it, right? You can't break a law with your speech. It's not absolute. Like we went over this earlier. Free speech is not absolute. You can't break laws with your speech. You can't commit criminal harassment. You can't use dog whistles to use third parties to attack other people. You can't cyber stalk. You can't cyber harass. You could be charged federally with cyber stalking. Okay? Let's make that clear. Federally, not just statewide, but federally. It's a crime, dude. So you can't say, oh, he has free speech. You're breaking a law with your speech. The free speech isn't absolute. You have to pay the consequences of that. That's how it works, Sorry, we were buffering. Do you have those little bowls, Joe? Are they like the little ice cream bowls that are like not very deep, and then you have like one bowl and it's like one little bit, and you're like, oh, like I could go for another scoop, but then it would be a second bowl. Dude, I'm tired of this buffering happening here. Every day I'm buffering. Me and StreamYard are going to fight in a second. You know? Well, that's what he does. I mean, I don't think that person needs to be convinced if they need to go watch all of his videos now. They can go right ahead and do that and join the cult if they'd like. You know what I'm saying? That's see what now y'all make me want ice cream. I might make myself a bowl of ice cream after this. Just saying. Just saying. Well, I think you're right, Rachel. You know, but that's what he does is manipulate. That's what he's good at is just manipulating people using coercive control, threats, blackmail behind the scenes so that he can claim publicly that he has no idea what anybody's talking about. He doesn't do any of that. And then when the evidence gets put out there, then what? Then we deal with this scenario where he says nothing, you know? Well, I mean, besides trying to blackmail, threaten, wiretap, lie. I mean, you want to go down the line? I mean, it's literally dealing with over a dozen felonies right now because of the way he acts. Yeah, that was pretty good. He was like, yeah, no. Mike didn't want him. I was like, no, sorry. I mean, he's in there talking shit in the chat. It's like, dude, get a life. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get a lot of trolls, Caleb. I apologize. I get a lot, okay? Like a lot. I didn't read it yet. No, I haven't had a chance. I saw it in the email, but I didn't get to read it yet. Well, it's not even what he did to me, okay? Because I could care less. He could say whatever the fuck he wants about me, and he knows he'd be lying. So I really don't give a shit what he says about me. What I care more about are the victims who come to me and who can't speak because he has threatened them into silence or tried to blackmail them into silence. So I speak for them because their voices have been taken. And so I care more about them than I do myself. And he is not going to take their voices. Not for me, he's not. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. He can spin whatever narrative he wants. And that's what really burns him, is that no matter what lie he tells, I'm not going to shut up and go away. It's just not going to happen. It burns him that there are so many of you right now in this chat that thought Karen was innocent for free Karen Reed. That burns the fuck out of him. That pisses him off. It pisses him off when one of you guys donates and drops a truth bomb. That pisses him off even more. He hates it. He sees it and he's like, oh, that fucking person was free Karen Reed. That's bullshit. It pisses him off. He hates it because he's a narcissist. That's how it works. I could give a shit less who donates to him and who doesn't. The only thing I feel about that is I feel bad for the people who in the long run end up having to figure out who he is and they spent all that money on him. Aside of that, I don't give a shit who donates to him and who doesn't. I don't give an actual fuck because people who aren't narcissists don't fucking care. You know? Well, people will talk back. You've been in here a couple times. You gotta kind of get used to the room, you know, but they will talk back to you. You know, we can have all sorts of conversations in the chat. People do all the time. And now that you have started to talk, you'll find more and more people will realize when you come in every day when I do a live and they're like, oh, hey, UK Cheese, how are you doing? You know? And it ends up being a community that you love being in, that you love, you know, you're having a bad day and you're like, you need to vent, right? You're in chat and you're like, oh, you guys, this happened to me today. It's off topic of what Elise is talking about, but like I had this shitty day, right? And the people in the chat are like, oh, that sucks. Like, we're really sorry. Do you need anything? You want to chat? Are you okay? Like, that is what I love about this community. This community in this chat is not running around attacking and hurting people. They're helping one another on a daily basis. Okay? I mean, probably, but I wouldn't even know where to fucking start. That would be a lot. You know, I'd have to compress it down to something smaller because, God, that video could probably go on for hours with the shit that he's done. You know what I mean? a Jethro bowl. You know? Well, his channel is just about attacking people. That's why. And there are many, many, many victims. Many, many. I love mint chocolate chip, but mint cookie is my favorite. I want mint cookie, you know? There is a lot to cover, but I don't think he would even get it if he just went back to the beginning of this video. It's a lot. I mean, the few word explanation is Turtle Boy is a huge piece of human garbage that attacks other people to hide his own dirt. So he'll say every horrible thing about you on planet Earth to make his audience turn against you so that if you say any truth about him, nobody will listen. And this has gone on for at least 10 years, right? Over and over and over. And it gets worse and worse and worse. There's blackmail involved. There's wiretapping involved. There's threats. There's a whole slew of things going on with him. You know, I've never heard of that one. I'll have to look that one up. That's pretty much the crux of it, you know? It's very afraid of people to hear the truth. Well, I mean, that house of cards is already tumbling. And no, he's not. We're talking about multiple, states at this point. You know? Well, that's exactly that's exactly what he is. So you can add in narcissist in there, you know? Unfortunately, it's bad, right? And I have victims that won't even, like, you guys don't even know exist because they are too afraid to speak. Like, that's not normal. That's not okay. That's not fucking okay. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Rachel. And he also does shit behind closed doors people know nothing about. So then people are like, well, I didn't see him do that. And I'm like, oh, he's been doing that for years. I'm sorry you don't know about it, but yeah. you know? Yeah, that's the problem. Like, it would take years to try to get through all of the stuff. Oh, more than 2,000. He's definitely mad. Definitely mad. He didn't even have 6,000, I think, last night. Someone sent a screenshot. It was like 5 point whatever thousand in the chat. His numbers have tanked exponentially, and he's obsessed with his numbers. See, I'm not obsessed with my numbers. There's 544 people, so 390 on X, 151 on YouTube, and one person on Facebook. I haven't looked at those numbers in probably an hour. You know what I mean? That's great. There's people watching. That's wonderful. But at the same time, it's more that I get the information out, right? I give a shit less about the fucking numbers. I'm a small channel. I'm not expecting large numbers of people, right? I'm not expecting large donations. I'm not expecting, large amounts of super chats or people gifting memberships or buying memberships. I'm not expecting any of that because I am not a large channel. I am a small channel. I think we were a total of at like let's see, $45 for the entire stream, and I'm at 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like, it's one side of his mouth. I'm a grifter, and the other side, I don't make a lot of money. Well, no shit. I have a less than 3,000 subscriber channel, so I wouldn't expect to make a ton of money. Now, would I? Make it make sense. Pick a fucking lane, dude. Pick a fucking lane. Yeah, you never can predict what a jury can do. Look at the Casey Anthony case. You literally can never, OJ, come on, you can't predict what a jury's going to do. You can guess, you can make a good educated guess, but sometimes the jury just does crazy shit, It just happens, We just do. Well, he is turning on his memberships after. That's another thing. Like, I could turn on this to be members only or subscribers only. So for instance, I could turn it on so that nobody in chat can chat unless they're a subscriber of the channel. I don't do that. Yes, it would give me more subscribers, but why? Why? I mean, it's a way to gain subscribers, but I don't want to gain them by them having to do it just to say something in the chat. They may never watch ever again after that. I want people to hit the subscribe button because A, it's free, and B, they like the channel, not because they want to comment one thing in chat and leave. It just doesn't make sense to me. But once again, I don't employ some of those tactics, like not reading you guys' things unless you send a donation. I just don't employ those tactics, Oh, I love it. Why did that happen today? Please tell me that happened today. I've seen it before and it's fucking hilarious, but well, that's exactly what it is. The whole thing is bullying and harassment. Mostly women, which is the even sadder part. It's mostly women, If you have to go after mostly women, what does that say about you? I mean, really. We have lots of amazing, kind people. I don't either. He screams and yells at them, tells them they're going to donate more than $5 or he's not reading it. It's not worth it. None of it's worth it. Then when he's screaming at someone about something he doesn't agree, it's not even like they're saying something horrible or something mean. They're just saying something in general, right? Another more. We have another $5. Says one more truth bomb just to piss someone off. I love it. Another truth bomb just to piss off Aiden. All right. Truth bomb. That's unfortunate. I mean, it does piss him off. It does. You know? Aw. Your dog is a very smart dog. You know, he heard the name and was like, no, I'm fucking out of that. No, thank you. You know? But yeah, he'll scream and yell at them. And then he'll say, and I've heard him say this numerous times, and you're going to not unsubscribe. You're going to say subscribe, and you're going to keep sending me turtle chats, and you're going to do it, and you're going to like it, and you're going to smile, and you're going to listen to me say all this shit to you. And it's like, how can anybody be okay with him speaking that to his own viewers? He's literally saying, you're going to keep sending me money. You're not going to unsubscribe, and you're going to keep watching me because you want to see what happens. And so I'm so big and tough, and I think I'm so untouchable that you're going to do all those things and keep sending me money. So fuck yourself. How is, I don't, it blows my mind. It just goes to show. I love East Coast food. That's what we got here. I love that. I don't love that your dog threw up, but I love that your dog knows that he's, you know. And that's the other thing, right? Many of these people, yes, hit the like button. Many of these people, oh, Giffords. I love Giffords ice cream. They do have like a mint Oreo one. It's called something else though. I think it's like grasshopper pie. I think that's what it's called. It's delicious. It does? Well, hey. I mean, that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. He's doing memberships. But that's the thing. He calls everyone else a grifter. It's amazing to me. Everybody else but him is a grifter. Listen, if his job is YouTube, like my job is YouTube, then why is everyone else a grifter? Make that make sense to anyone. If my job is YouTube and his job is YouTube, how am I a grifter but he's not? Like, he doesn't even think about these things before he says it. I'm not making $20,000 a month or more. Not even close, you know? Well, you're here now, Joe, right? You're here now. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Well, that's, that's the thing though. I'm pretty non-judgmental when it comes to people. Once again, like, I don't care if you were a criminal in your past life years ago or you were an addict years ago, or, I don't judge people based on mistakes they made. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite like he is. I judge people based on who they are right now, who they are to me, right? How do they treat me as a person? Not by what someone else tells me to think of someone or what narrative that person wants to spin. That means you have no agency. He's telling you what to do and think, and he's using dog whistles and mantras to do it. So even though you're pretending like you have agency, you don't. You're in a cult, right? These people are in a cult. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And a lot of them who come out of it end up contacting me and being like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Elise. Like, I can now recognize I was in a cult and I don't know how I didn't recognize it. So the very same people that are out there trashing me right this very minute, a month, 6 months, 3 months from now, are the ones sending me messages saying, I am sorry. I did not realize I was in a cult until I kind of got out of it. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Like, come on. It also can't be, 75 people are saying the exact same thing about him. It can't be everyone else. It can't be everyone's a scammer and everyone's crazy and everyone's bad and everyone's this and a grifter and everyone's all those things but him. There are dozens of people accusing him of the same exact things and tactics, but it's not him, it's everyone else. Make it make sense, please. Make it make sense, right? Hey, Smitty. Late is better than never, right, my friends? They are. They're very mean. They say all sorts of really awful shit to people in their chat. If it's one thing that the people in the chat don't agree with, then that's how they get talked to, not just by him, but by the mods. It's crazy to me, Well, he can't stop violating terms of service. So he got that monetization back after losing it for like 2 years. Crazy to me, crazy to me. It is icky. It's very icky. Can't wait for a girls' night. I totally could use a girls' night. You're telling me. I don't blame your husband. My husband's like, I don't want, like, I can't sit. If he ever pops up on YouTube, my husband's like, somebody get the dick nose off the fucking screen. Like, the fucking dick nose off the screen, please. Wrinkly ball sack face off the screen, please, for the love of God. It just is, you know? You're probably gonna be, if you're in the chat here, that, you know, be on some of them radar for them to sort of attack you for being in the chat. Like, oh, you're in Twisted Tragedies chat. Yeah, and what's your point? You know? Yeah, it makes a lot of people sick. It's unfortunate. But his whole content was based on bullying and harassing others and then calling it content, calling people out or bad behavior. Like, dude, you have over a dozen felonies. Your entire personal life is a fucking dumpster fire, setting another dumpster fire on fire. And you have the audacity to talk about anybody else's mistakes or misjudgments or anything else. I mean, that is so beyond oblivious and hypocritical that I don't even know what to call it at this point, right? You can't fix fucking stupid is right, Jesse. You just can't. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. They attack other people in other chats. So if you go to JFK's chat and they like sort of find you in there, if you go into his, they're like, oh, you were just in JFK's chat, blah blah blah. Like, little fucking crazy, you know, little crazy. Oh, I do. I love it. Fresh bananas, like some fresh bananas in that ice cream. So good, so good. You know, peel my own ears off. Oh God, we're buffering again. What the fuck, StreamYard? StreamYard wants to fight today, I think. It does. It really does. It wants to fight today. It wants to keep buffering. I don't blame you. His voice makes me want to peel my ears off. And he also just says a bunch of nonsensical crap where he contradicts himself in the next sentence and people skip right over it. Like, he said this, and I'm like, yeah, and a second later he said the complete opposite. So thank you, Deidre. Thank you. Well, that's why I don't use lashes with glue. I refuse. I use glamnetic lashes. They're a different kind of lash where it's just a black eyeliner and it's magnetic. So it's a liquid eyeliner that's magnetic. So I've been using glamnetic lashes for a while because I will not use glue lashes. I can't seem to do it right with the glue. It gets stuck I don't like it. So I use glamnetic lashes. I appreciate that. So the sewer turtle and his cult, they don't like my eyeshadow. They hate it. They don't like it. It's not good for them. Just so funny to me because I've been paid to do people's makeup. So I'm like, I love bold colors, bold statements, bold colors, different mixtures, you know. I have like a lot of high-end palettes that I've had over the years that I love to use the big bold colors. And they always have something to say about my eyeshadow, like it's a problem for them, which is so funny because it's always men that say it. Do you know how many compliments I get on a daily basis on my eyeshadow? So it's just funny because they say shit that not only is nonsensical, but it's anything is just there to tear you down. So even if I had perfect makeup on, perfect hair, the perfect outfit, they would try to pick something apart. That's what they do. You know? Oh my God. I don't blame him, Dougie. My husband's like, no, get him, get that the fuck away from my screen. Because my daughter will be scrolling through YouTube to look for something to watch. And it might scroll by as a recommended from something else. She's like, get it off the screen. He's like, I can't, no, get it away. Away. Because I won't watch him. So he's not going to hear it from my TV from me watching him. That's for damn fucking sure. You know? You know, his hate is projection. It's a lot of it. It's a lot of it. You always make sense, girl. What you mean? Well, they do, unfortunately. I mean, I don't think you can't blame the Almighty. I think hello, I think, you know, again, just desserts come around, karma comes around, and the truth always comes out. It always comes out. Always, always, always. I can't do that kind of hate, that kind of anger. The man is angry. He is hateful. He's insecure, and he lives a very paranoid life. When you are running from multiple crimes that you have committed that you know that either you're going to be charged with at some point, or, you know, when they start going through your phones and seeing all the crimes that they choose to charge you with those, maybe they're going to charge you in New Jersey. Maybe they're going to charge you when they're looking into the conspiracy witness intimidation. Maybe they charge you with more witness intimidation. He's living basically peeking out a window like a crackhead waiting for the cops to show up or the next document for him to be served. If you don't lie and don't commit crimes, you don't have to live like that. You know? Well, these ones are easy. Freaking StreamYard. They're easy peasy. These lashes are easy peasy lemon squeezy, I promise. They're much easier. If you try these, I don't know if they even sell these if you're in the UK, I don't know. You could probably get them online anyway, but Ulta and Sephora sell them too, so but they do have a website. Glamnetic has their own website. They also have magnetic nails. I've never tried those, but I do the lashes. I love Sonic. I don't have one in my area, but I love Sonic. I love banana. I love a good old banana split. But I like the fudge. I don't like the pineapple sauce. I can't do it. Nope. Nope. Oh yeah, he was upset. He was upset. He kept apparently, and this is what I was told by someone else, that he was mentioning people who are on the screen. Like Donna. Of course, he saw Donna on the screen, so he was getting upset. He was getting mad at who was in the comment section. Like, oh, cry me a fucking river. You don't control who watches what or where. Come on. You don't sound cringe. Actually, I have gotten so many compliments from men too. It's not even funny. Some men on my husband's softball team all the time. So it's like the fact that hateful men who just magically don't like me because they were told to have anything to say about it is so funny to me, because A, I've been paid to do it for plenty of people. B, I've gotten so many comments from men and women on the way that it looks always. So I just laugh. Because it's something that they have to find to like say something about, you know? Girl, listen, ice cream shop. Ugh, gonna have to ask them if we can like rent that ice cream shop out for a night, like 24 hours in an ice cream shop. But thank you, Jill. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. He is very angry. He's a very angry human, but he made all that anger himself. He's insecure. He's an insecure person that spits venom and vitriol. And if you say anything about him that is true, that is being let out, that could harm him in a way where people don't want to watch him anymore because they now finally see what's happening, then he spews pure nonsensical paranoia and venom. It is accurate. I find it funny that they say that, because the only person that I call out is him and some of his super squad minions like Will. I don't talk about anyone else in any sort of hateful manner. I don't attack people on Twitter. I don't do any of that, right? None of it. None of it. So I find it funny that anyone would say anything like that. It's something they have to say, so it sounds good. It sounds good, right? So it must be true. Right? It's a good point, Carol. That's a very good freaking point, It is. Oh, you found them online? Oh, Portugal. I'm Portuguese, just a little though. Portuguese, Puerto Rican, Irish, Congolesian. I did my ancestry years ago. My mother was adopted, and I wanted to know for medical purposes for my daughter's rare disease. My mother didn't have any sort of medical history. It stopped at my mom, right? So my husband bought me the ancestry kit. I did the swabs, sent it back in to see if we could find my mother's biological family and see if there was any history of anything that was going on with my kiddo and her disease, and to see if she got it just as a fluke or if it was passed down. So it was actually fun, like following the map on it and seeing all the different places I'm from and how much percentage of what I am. It was fun. They could definitely make it work if they visit. Oh, he goes bonkers on a lot of people. If you donate $2 instead of $5, he goes bonkers. It's like, I'm not reading that. It's not worth it. You only sent $2. Like, what? How do you not appreciate what they're sending you? Whether it's $1 or $2, I don't give a shit if it's 25 cents. How do you not appreciate it? He's got the 22nd of October. He's got a hearing in New Jersey for the second order that he got yesterday on his second victim. So that's when. That's when. I have a $50 donation. That is so kind. It says, I'm not looking to join a side, but I'd like to buy you a tub or two of ice cream. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you. No sides here, my friend. You don't have to join a side. You're more than welcome to hang out. We don't have sides. That's the funny part, right? We have humans. And regardless of what people believe when it comes to the case itself, right? We talk about all sorts of other stuff here. All sorts of other stuff. And most of you guys are, more than welcome to have these chats with one another, right? There's no hate here because people know that they can agree to disagree on the case itself and still have other things to talk about or other things you agree on. Like smearing people is wrong. Blackmailing people is wrong. Wiretapping people is wrong. And then spreading hate about that person, saying they're bad because they called out your bad behavior, which is what you've been doing, no? For 10 years, is magically calling out people's bad behavior? Come on. He doesn't like the First Amendment unless it's his First Amendment. But First Amendment's not absolute. It's not absolute. You can commit crimes with your First Amendment speech, which is what he's done. I love my magnetic eyeliner. That's exactly why I don't use glue. I couldn't do it. I would glue my fingers to my eyes. I can't do the glue. I can't. I'd be like this. Like, how do I get this off, guys? That's why I use the magnetic eyeliner and use Glamnetic. I love them. They have all sorts of different lashes and all sorts of different eyeliner colors. I love it. No. Well, that's the thing, right? That's that you can't. But if you go and ask one of his followers, right, they'll just say, I'm lying. It's not true. And that is because they are so brainwashed, and I kid you not when I say that, they're so brainwashed that it is a cult mob mentality that they defend no matter what. It's defend, twist, spin, defend. And then when they finally end up coming out of it, I'm the one that gets the email or the text message or the DM, right? Can you unblock this person? They've contacted me to ask you to unblock them. They'd like to have a conversation with you. Or I get an email. Hey, it's so-and-so. I really want to apologize. Like, I really was in a cult and I didn't know. Like, this is what I mean. And it would be easier to just wake people up now and have them not go through all of that, right? Than have them going through all of that. Yes, I did. He was served yesterday. Again, one of the reasons why he's mad. Right? Why he's mad. It's because I knew that was incoming. And he was served with another order yesterday on another woman from New Jersey. And what did he proceed to do? Break that order. Here's the thing. He doesn't have First Amendment freedom of speech anymore when it comes to these women. He is ordered by the court to not speak about them at all. Yet he can't help himself. He keeps breaking the orders. In the same day he gets the order, he breaks the order. Does that make sense? And then he breaks the other one again. He cannot help himself. I mean, it was technically sexual harassment of another girl, a girl at a football game. And so then he was sort of, him and the school ended up signing these non-disclosure agreements, and he quietly walked out and was never a teacher again. So he was basically fired from his teaching position. I mean, look at the way the guy talks. Would you want him to be a fucking teacher? I'm just saying, not to my children, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. At the end of the day, we all have beating hearts, feelings. We all put our pants on one leg at a time, unless you're fancy like me and you just like jump into them bad Larrys. You know what I'm saying? Woof! Just kidding. I'm no Superman. I put them on one pant leg at a time too. But he is depraved. That's not, that's easily verifiable if you're not in his cult. I did not watch the Adam Montgomery appeal, only because I find him to be a deplorable piece of human garbage that's just a liar, and he's already in jail for life. He's not going to win an appeal. So I didn't really think it was really worth playing. He's already been sentenced, Yeah, he's going to call Kayla Montgomery not credible, See, that's the difference, though. There are real people behind those names on a screen. So you can't just act like, oh, welcome to the internet, where it's just a name on a screen, not a real person. There's a real person behind that name on that screen, a real person with real feelings, a real human with a real family and a real job and a real life. That's the problem, is people just thinking it's just a name on a screen. It's not. You're affecting real people's lives. Real people's lives. No, the football game was not at the high school. No, this was like a pro football game. It was like like a Patriots game or whatever, but it wasn't the Patriots. A Giants game, maybe. It was in New York. Oh, a poodle. I love you. Kindness is the best revenge. You're right. Sometimes it is, my friend. The victim in the case where it was the football thing did speak publicly, was written about. No, he's just a bad person. Where he's going to go eventually is to jail. So she does lots of rescues. She works a lot with dogs and does amazing work. Amazing. We're talking about all sorts of stuff. I don't think we have much news about that yet, although they did look at the video. I think they know who it is, but they haven't said anything to us. You're a teacher? Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. I wouldn't want somebody like that teaching my child, you know? Not even a little. I love you for this. You do so much work. I don't even know. Yes, that's who she, yep. Revenge is making money from turning him into LOL content. It's probably a good idea, you know? It's probably a good idea. Was it? I never saw it, so I don't know. It might have been exposed at one point, but I didn't see it. Yes, she did. That was her. Yes. She was the one who got the turtle in the jar, in the fake friggin' thing on it. Aw, I love this. He did. He rewrote the history in his book as if it was something for people who weren't familiar with it, as if it would happen completely differently, of course. You can say that again, Deidre. You are freaking right about that, my friend. Okay, perfect. I know you are. I know you are. You too, my friend. I'll text you later. See, I love this. I love this. Yeah, I mean, it's not any better, obviously, but it's, you know, it was a minor child. You know, it was a minor child. And what does that mean exactly? We're not talking about that. Hold on a second, guys. I don't know, but someone else here does. Want to confess what happened to his remains. I would, you know, I wish he would. I wish he would, but I just don't see that ever happening. I think the best bet of them finding her is them sort of retracing the steps of where that van went, you know, the sort of route that it would have went, and checking all like the woods in that area and things like that. Right? Joe Israel, and he does like ice cream. I love ice cream. I'm with you on that, Joe. I am freaking with you, my friend. I'm totally with you on that. Although I like to put bananas in my ice cream. I like to. I do. I like to slice up and I put cherries and whipped cream and some sprinkles. I make it fancy even at home. You know what I mean? I got to make it fancy. It's good. I'm actually starving right now too. I ate a little bit of breakfast, but. Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. It actually only took me like 5 minutes. I just kind of was like, what kind of colors am I feeling today? I think I'm doing like a teal and a pink. That's what I want to do. I'm going to do a teal and a pink, and that's what I did. I did a teal and a pink. See? The teal and a pink, and I mixed it. Ooh, little Cocoa Puffs. I got Cocoa Puffs. Well, you have diabetes, Missy, so all that sugar, you know, all that sugar. Ooh, that actually sounds really good. That sounds like a breakfast. I put sliced bananas, and I put sliced strawberries on my daughter's waffles. We call them either pancakes or waffles on Sundays, and I make them smiley faces. So I put the sliced, you know, whatever fruit they want. Usually it's bananas or strawberries. And then I put that on there, and then I make a whipped cream face, eyes and a mouth, and I use a cherry for its nose, and then I put sprinkles on the mouth, right? So it's a whole fancy breakfast for the girls. Well, there is sugar-free. You could have sugar-free. Probably won't be as tasty, but like, isn't there equal or something like that you could. I couldn't put insulin in a bowl. Like, you can't do that. They take the fun out of everything. Well, ma'am, when you have these serious health issues, can't do that. I do love you for the trying, though. But yeah, there is sugar-free lots of stuff. I'm not going to tell you it's going to taste spectacular, but there is sugar-free lots of stuff. Okay. I know. You guys have no idea. After I do this, I'm definitely having a bowl of ice cream. We can all thank Joe for that. Now Joe's got me wanting my coffee ice cream, and I have all the stuff in the freezer and the fridge to make myself ice cream. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So thank you, Joe, because I actually haven't had some in a while, and it sounds delicious. All right. Let's wrap this lad Barry up here. I am tired. I'm hungry. I got to get my kiddo off the bus in a couple minutes, and I want to eat some ice cream before I walk my bum to the bus station. The bus stop. Oh my God, I can't speak today. Ice cream shopping, right? It does not, it sounds good, right? This is what I'm talking about. Like, you got to try this stuff. See, this is, we give good recipes here. Give good recipes. Somebody did one in our Discord the other day. It was a recipe for something, and I was like, I have to try this. I have to try this. All right. I love your stinking faces. If you would like to donate to the channel, you're dropping truth bombs with your donations, right? We are a small channel. We get by with you guys supporting us. We drop truth bombs, and y'all help us do so. We are independent. We have no overlord, no cult leader, network, or sponsors telling us what we can and what we can't say, what we can talk about and what we can't talk about. We do these things, right? Spotlight did real investigative journalism in regards to exposing the Catholic Church. Yeah, that was, wow, that one was crazy. I remember that. TV exposed Proctor misspelled on a report. What a joke. Karen Reed and Nice Queens. Well, thank you for your donation, Nicole. I appreciate your super chat. Thank you very, very much. Ooh, cheesecake pudding. Y'all are just like spitting things at me I've never heard of before, okay? Damn. No, you guys are the best. Right? Yeah, he definitely does not want me going to New Jersey. He gave that sort of like veiled threat, like, she shouldn't be going to New Jersey. She should be a mom. My parents also have a dad, right? And they're also at my bum 24/7. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Caleb. That's terrible. Listen, fur babies are still babies, all right? They're like people's babies. They're just as important. So it's hard when you lose those fur babies. That's for sure. My friend Karen just lost her fur baby that she's had for a really long time. So everybody say a little prayer for my friend Karen who lost her very important fur baby. It's very sad. Definitely hit the like button. Definitely hit the like button, the subscribe button. We appreciate you. Again, if you'd like to donate, we have a million ways to do so. We have Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. We have a link in the description that you can use credit or debit. You can remain anonymous. We have an Amazon wish list. That's in the description of the video. And if you're on the restream or you're catching us when I'm not live anymore, I still love your stinking faces. And I will see y'all. Actually, I'll see you guys on the spaces tonight at 7 o'clock, right? So there's a spaces on X at 7 o'clock tonight that Chris the Koala is doing. I will be there at 7 for all of you who will see me there. And for those of you that don't see me there, you guys will see me tomorrow morning. So in the meantime, everybody have a fantastic day. I love you guys, and I will see y'all later. Bye.